All right, cool. Hopefully, I know that you are all having a beautiful day so far. All right. So the title of today's discussion is how to manifest without idolatry of the 3D world. So we're going to talk about what idolatry really is. All right. We're going to talk about idolatry. We're going to talk about how you can get caught up in this trap going through reality. We're going to talk about how to get over that shit. All right? So the sovereign within, ending idolatry of appearances. Let's get right into it. The loudest voice you will ever answer to is the one inside your skull. No one walks beside you there, whispering how to interpret the mess, the miracle, the smallness, or the victory. Counsel arrives from teachers, lovers, and headlines, which are useful maps. But the external world is not the commander. That office belongs to you. Stand up in it. All right. So let's really think about this. When we talk about manifestation, reality creation, we talk about your life in general. You are the only person that is narrating it. When you walk through life and you say, oh, this situation just doesn't look right, who is telling you that? Nobody, just you. No matter what the circumstance says, you have final say so. We tend to look out there, hear other voices. We will hear other people's opinions. We will see a circumstance, will look a certain way, and all of a sudden, it'll sway our perception of reality. We'll say, oh, because that looks like that, maybe I should tell this story. But at the end of the day, you still have final say so. You play every role in this reality, right? You are the ultimate narrator. In the story of your life, you are walking through life and you are narrating everything. Nobody is standing beside you, whispering in your ear, hey, guess what? You might not be in alignment right now. You're the only person that makes up that story. Nobody, when you walk in a room and says, man, it just feels like everybody's talking about me. Nobody tells you that. You are the one. You are the one who says that. Okay? So let's get into it, all right? So this teaching, all right, this discussion is going to be a call home. We have been trained to mistake appearances for authority. We let numbers on the screen. We let the opinions of people out there, which are just fragments of us, and temporary refusals dictate our identity. We crown circumstances and call that realism. No more. All right? So today, we will discuss how to refuse the lie and reclaim the throne that is inside. All right, so the first couple quotes we're going to talk about. Number one is Psalm 82:6. All right? Psalm 82:6, you are God's. Let's even talk about that. Is it okay to reach out to your ex? Why would it not be? Why would it not be? We let all these people outside of us give us these rules. Say, hey, look, you shouldn't reach out or else you can't get them. You should just stay back or else you... At the end of the day, when you walk through life, you are the only one who makes up the rules. If you reach out to them, you are the only one who's going to say, oh, that means that I can't get them anymore. What sense does it make to make rules that are against yourself? When we say your thoughts, your beliefs, right, who you are creates reality. Your state of being creates reality. This is not a sometimey thing. This means all the time. This means when you say it's going to work out because I don't do this, that's a rule. When you say it can't work out if I do this, that's just another law. So why make laws that are against you? Huh? Cool. So first quote, Psalm 82:6, you are God's. You are God's. And then the second quote, which we're going to circle back to over and over again, is the eye with which I see God is the same eye with which God sees me. Okay, beautiful. All right, so let's break that one down a little bit because we're going to talk about that one a lot. All right. To see God is not to look outward into the heavens as if peering at a distant monarch, a distant deity, right? We try to make God like Santa Claus. Maybe somewhere up in the sky, he's got a naughty or nice list, right? So what this means, it is to gaze inward with the very vision of the divine itself. The perceiver and the perceived are not two, but one sight shared in eternal union. When you say, I see God, it is God seeing himself through you, as you, without separation and without gap. The moment you realize this, right, prayer ceases to be a petition. It ceases to be a petition to something afar and becomes communion with the presence breathing within you, breathing as you. This is how close you are to source. Is that when you look at this situation, when you walk in the room, you're not walking in with God, you're walking in as God. Every breath that you take is God. Every time you go within and you speak, you are communing with God. Every word that you speak is the expression of God. You just are God. You're the identity of God. You're the identity of divinity. God is pure spirit. God doesn't have an identity. God is pure spirit. God is all that there is. But the dwelling place is within you. It is you. You are the identity of the spirit made manifest. Okay? So this is the collapse of distance, the end of the illusion of exile. The eye you use to see is God's own eye. Your awareness is his awareness. There is no mediator. There is no veil. There is no separation, right? We often like to add these mediators to our discussions with source, right? Some people add the subconscious mind as a mediator between them and God, right? Oh, I can say this, but the subconscious mind has to eventually take it and then deliver it to source for me. That makes no sense. That makes absolutely no sense. We'll use our nervous system as a mediator, an intermediary between us and source. Right? If I regulate my nervous system, then God will hear me. This makes no sense. All right? So coming into the realization of who you are, all right? It's the realization that there is no mediator, there is no veil, there is no separation. To forget this is to wander in shadows, mistaking appearances for authority. To remember it is to stand as light, knowing that the throne of God is not in the clouds, but within your chest. Your vision of him is his vision of you. One gaze, one truth, one being. All right? Yeah, brother. Yeah, brother. If you have a question, go and ask, man. Even if you got to separate it, go and ask. All right. And then someone took your wallet. What mirror is that? Well, I mean, it's a very human question to ask, isn't it? Think about that, Mason. You already know the answer to this. Okay? Reality does whatever. Okay? You don't get to determine how every single step of the path looks. You get to determine the meaning of all of it. I can't give you the meaning of it. I can tell you 100 different things. I could tell you that means a blessing's coming through. That means it's going to be returned with this or returned with that, right? We can say all kinds of things, but at the end of the day, it's me that looks at it and says, okay, well, this means it's the end. This means that there's going to be some bigger problem in my life, or this means that something is going to come in. This still means that everything is perfect. This is not going to slow me down at all. I'm just going to keep rolling through it, right? So we always have final say-so on this story. None of us get to walk through our life and micromanage everything. But we always get final say-so on the story, which actually brings us to the next point. All right? So you are the only one inside your head. You are the only one inside your head. All right? No one else inhabits your inner court. All right? Advice appears. People show up and they give you advice. They might say, you have to work on your self-concept to manifest this, and you can't reach out to that SP or else they won't reach out to you, and your manifestation will be broken. Hear this, okay? Advice can appear. Impressions happen. I lose something. Something in my life that I don't like happens, that I don't prefer happens. The world broadcasts its judgments. Yet the final editorial choice is mine. It's yours, okay? To live as a passenger is to outsource your kingdom. To just sit around reacting to every single thing that shows up, just letting reality slap you around, is to act as a passenger, is to outsource your kingdom, right? To live as the author is to choose meaning moment by moment. I get to choose the meaning of everything. I get to choose the meaning of everything. This is your power. This is the only power that you have, is your perspective. Okay? So the practice is simple and ruthless. Observe first, then speak last. Let impressions be information, not identity. When a stimulus arrives, right? A bank alert, a text, a dismissal, name it, and do not immediately hand it a verdict over your soul. You can simply observe these things, and then you can make up your mind on, okay, let me see what I actually want this to mean. You can do that. You have the authority to do that. You've been doing it your whole life. We've all been doing it our whole life. You walk into the room and you say, okay, well, this looks like this, or this is what it must mean. And reality continues to what? Prove you right. All right? So this is sovereignty. When you begin to manage your life, when you begin to give meaning to everything, everything becomes proof that you are that person, right? You are that guy, you are that girl, you are whatever you want to be. Everything becomes proof to this. This is sovereignty, all right? So the posture of the inner life determines the architecture of the outer. What you permit, right? What you permit inside will proliferate outside. Proliferate, right? Now, threw in a little word for y'all. Proliferate means to multiply, to expand, to become larger, all right? So what you permit inside will proliferate outside. Proliferate, all right? You feel me? All right, so next, what idolatry really is. What idolatry really is, all right? Idolatry has never truly been about statues of wood or stone. I want you to hear this, all right? Matter of fact, I'm going to read right through this, and then we are going to break this down, all right? Idolatry has never truly been about statues of wood or stone. It is about where you place your authority. Every time you allow your state of being, your confidence, your sense of self-worth to be dictated by the outer world, you have crowned circumstance as your God. Okay? You say, I can't rejoice until my bank account changes. I can't feel love until that musty ass SP comes back into my life. SP means specific person. All right? I can't feel love until someone chooses me. I can't walk in peace until life looks better. That's not realism. That is worship. That is you worshiping the external circumstances. You are bowing before the shadow and forgetting the source, which is you. This is no different than Israel dancing around a golden calf. You worshiping your circumstances. I can't feel love until that SP comes back into my life. Even though when you were there, you were complaining about their breath half the time. But when they come back now, all of a sudden you'll be happy. This is no different than dancing around a golden calf. It's no different. It's idolatry. You have made the external reality your idol, your God. All right? To worship appearances is to give power to the echo instead of the voice. The 3D world is nothing more than yesterday's assumptions crystallized. Yet you treat it as eternal law. You look at numbers on a screen and call it truth. You see a quote unquote rejection and call it your identity. Man, these women are just, they just ain't shit this generation. These men, this generation. I hate hearing that story. It's the worst story. One of the most saddest, pathetic stories right there. All right. This is no different than Israel dancing around the golden calf. It is the celebration of a God you created out of your own fear and forgetfulness. Appearances are not authority, they are simply artifacts. The only power they have is what you lend them with your belief. That is it. That is it. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. We all in this game together. We are all in this game together. All right, so the metaphysics, I am as source. All right, so this goes back to, what was it? Psalm 82:6, I believe, yeah. Psalm 82:6. You are gods, ye are gods, ye are gods, all right? Ye are gods is not a compliment, right? It's not a compliment. Sometimes it goes in one ear and out the other. Oh yeah, we're gods. Sure, all right? It is a reminder of delegated authority. The I am within you is not a doctrine, all right? It's not a doctrine. Sometimes we can misinterpret scripture. We can read it as if it's talking about them, when it's talking about you. You are scripture. Right? You play every role in that book. Right? So when you remember that your consciousness names reality, the small things stop wearing crowns. And then you'll realize that they're all small things except for you. They're all small things except for you. All right? To exalt circumstances above the I am is to drag divinity off its throne and hand the crown to clay. The eye that sees God is the same that God uses to see me. This is Meister Eckhart. This is a quote by Meister Eckhart. The God with which I see, or the eye that sees God, the eye with which I see God is the same eye that God uses to see. You are not looking at God from a distance. You are looking at God, or you are God. Okay, let me take a step back. My bad, y'all got excited. All right. You are not looking at God from a distance. You are God looking through a human lens. You hear that? You are not human, okay? This is a small fraction of what you are. You are God viewing reality through the lens of a human. You are not a fragment of God trying to be whole. You are the wholeness of God pretending to be a fragment. You are not inside of your body is inside you. You are not inside time. Time is unfolding from within your divine ass. You are not within this world is within you. You are not within this universe is within you. You are everything. The kingdom is within you. The kingdom is everything. We call it all kinds of things. The quantum field, the Akashic records, all these things. The universe is within you. The kingdom is within you. All that there is within you. Stop looking at yourself. Stop pretending to be so small. You are everything. When you start actually, instead of thinking that those things outside of you are so large, when you see them for what they are, just specks within your universe. Just things waiting for your declaration. When you start perceiving reality from the truth of who you are everything, and everything is you. Now you can begin to actually give things meaning in a divine way that matches your true identity, which is source. All right, here we go. All right, so Neville's training gives us the method. All right, so Neville got it, right? Inhabit the knowing of the fulfilled end. I was going to say feeling, but I know everybody gets confused. When I say the word feeling, everybody gets fucking confused. All right? Inhabit the knowing of the fulfilled end, and the outer will conspire to match the inner assumption. Because remember, when Neville said it, he said, inhabit the feeling of the fulfilled end. But even he said what? When I speak of feeling, I do not speak of emotion. But the knowing that the desire is already done. That you are already the person you desire to be. That is the feeling of the wish fulfilled. It's not an emotion. It's not running around like a psychopath, pretending that you have money when you don't. I remember thinking that too. When I was broke as shit, running around like, how the fuck am I supposed to act like I have money when I have $2? It makes no sense, right? It is knowing that I am already the person that I desire to be. It is knowing that I am source. I am everything that I desire to be. My imagination is the truth. I am God just taking this human form for a little minute. That is it. And when I come into that understanding, when I seek ye first the kingdom, I realize I am already the manifestation. I am the manifestation of God. I am the manifestation of God. I'm not trying to manifest anything out there. You're not manifesting shit. You are the manifestation. And the more that you realize that, the more all these things can be added to you. This is what it means when it says, seek ye first the kingdom, and all these things will be added to you. When we are seeking things out there, what we are doing is we're saying, I am not it. I need that thing out there to come into my life to make me feel more fulfilled and whole and love, instead of just knowing that I am love. When I understand I am the wellspring of love, I am the source of love. The love that I seek is the love that I am. This is not a feeling. This is just a knowing. You're not the feeling of love. You just are love. Love just is. And you just are. You are the awareness of God being aware of itself through you. All right, I know I just used a whole big ass word salad. So let's chop that down a little bit. All right. You are God. God is pure spirit. God is all that there is. All right. The spirit of God is everything. It's in this water. Right. It's in you. It's in me. It's in everything around us. You are the spirit of God. And the spirit of God has collapsed into this identity. Now, one of the beautiful things about the spirit of God is that the spirit of God is omnipotent and omnipresent. Omnipresent means it's everywhere. Everywhere. Omnipresent means everywhere, all right? So God's not over there and you're here. God's not close to you and you're here. Every breath that you breathe is the breath of God. Every word that you speak is the word of God. God is you. All right? God is you. If God was not you, then God would not be omnipresent. It would make no sense for us to run around saying that shit. All right? So God is omnipresent, omnipotent. One of the other aspects of God is indivisible. Where a piece of God is, all of God is. All right? So you're not a fragment of God. That makes no sense. That means God can be divided and split up, which once again, which would mean God is not omnipresent. God is not omnipotent. You are the wholeness of God pretending to be a fragment. Now let's really think about this, okay? How could you, okay? We all have free will, right? We have free will. How could you manifest a person in your life if the version of them in your reality had free will? It would be impossible. It would be impossible. It would lead to all kinds of problems, right? This is why some people go far off the path and they say, oh no, we don't have free will. It's all just already mapped out. Well, sure, if you believe there's only one reality, but there's infinite realities, right? Even scripture will tell you, in my Father's house are many mansions. What is the Father's house? Well, it's you. You are the temple of the Most High. You are the Father's house, all right? So within you are many mansions. What is a mansion? It's a dimension. How do you switch dimensions? Well, you switch perspectives, right? Every time you seek a different perspective, that's a different dimension. Remember, there is only one law, one power, one source, one God. There is all that there is. There is one law. It is I am. I am is everything. Everything that you say after I am is still a reduction. It is a perspective of all that there is. I am prosperity is still a reduction of all that there is. It's just one perspective. So I'm constantly switching perspectives by what? My state of being, what I declare myself to be. I am whole, I am beautiful, I am prosperous, I am this, I am that, I am all these things. These are different perspectives of all that there is. So every time I take a different perspective, guess what? I am switching dimensions. And when I switch dimensions, what changes with me? Everything. Because it's all me. There's nothing to change out there because I am in control of the dimensions, right? Everybody that you see out there, they're just fragments of you. They're not real. They don't exist. Or else you couldn't choose different versions of them. It would make no sense, right? We would just all be walking around being controlled by another. That would be no control. That would be no free will. But everyone is in their own separate reality. Within me, there's infinite versions of me. And the version of me that you are talking to right now is not the real me. It's just a fragment of you giving you information that you already know. Or that you want to reject, whatever the case may be. But I'm simply a projection of you. I'm a fragment of you. In your reality, you are source. I show up the way that you tell me to show up. In my reality, vice versa. Right? So there's infinite versions of me. There's infinite versions of you. In your reality, when you have a specific person you desire, there's infinite versions of them that treat you like shit. There's infinite versions of them that treat you like the God or like the goddess that you are. But what is this all based on? Your perspective. This goes back to what we were talking about earlier. What were we talking about earlier, Alex? You've been talking for a long goddamn time. What we were talking about earlier is that when you make the circumstance greater than you, when you look out there and you let the circumstance determine your state of being, determine how you look at yourself, determine how you think things are going to play out, you are making the circumstance your God. So even scripture says, I am the Lord your God. You shall have no false idols besides me. When you look out there and you forget that I am, your state of being is God. Then you make false idols out of everything. You say, oh, it just doesn't look right. Oh, Alex, why is this happening to me? The 3D is just doing this and that and that. Well, you're making it an idol. You're saying the 3D has the power to control me. I'm basing my identity off what I see out there. This is no different than you worshiping a big ass statue of a fucking mountain lion. This is no different. This is the true metaphysical meaning of idolatry right here. That is what idolatry is. Okay? So when I know that I am sourced, when I know that it's simply my perspective that changes reality, well, the only thing for me to do is seek first the kingdom. And when I seek the kingdom, when I seek the knowing that I am source, because what does that mean? Because the kingdom is within you. What is seek ye first the kingdom and all these things will be added unto you? What does that mean? It means seek the knowing that you are God. Seek the knowing that you are everything because the kingdom is everything. It doesn't mean seek the SP out there and then they will be added to you. It's seek ye first. This is why we'll often hear things like, oh, the moment I stopped caring is the moment they showed up. Okay, let's really break that down. Is it the moment you stopped caring? Or is it the moment that you make yourself the center of reality? When you start realizing the only reason that you see them as special is because of your perspective of them. If right now your memory was erased, you would look at them and you would say, yeah, I don't know. They're just like everybody else. They might be attractive, but they're just like everybody else. But what makes them special? Your perspective on them. You look at them and you say, oh my God, you're so tall and handsome. You look at that woman and say, oh my God, you're so fine and thick and beautiful and you're kind to me and you're nice. What makes you think that you can't find that in another? That's just the story that you're telling about them. And now you tell the story of they're not here. Oh, if they showed up and gave me a text, I'd be so happy. Well, the problem with that is if they showed up and did this, then you'd be happy. Well, that's making them your God. If something out there changes and shows me something, then I'll be happy. Well, what if it doesn't? Then are you going to be sad and shitty and not know what the fuck to do with your life? That's the problem, right? You're basing your state of being on that person. And so when we talk about, oh yeah, I stopped caring and they came back, what it means is I put my energy back on me. I stopped constantly fucking worrying about how they felt about me and I started knowing how I felt about myself. I started saying, okay, cool. Look, now that I look at myself, now I put the energy on myself and I say, no. I am source. I am chaste. All right? I am the one that is worthy of everything that I desire. I'm the one that you seek. Everything revolves around me. So instead of my life revolving around them, you feel me? Do you hear what I'm saying? Instead of my life revolving around them, I wake up in the morning and I try to find the affirmation to speak. Maybe that's people. Maybe they'll like and respond to this affirmation. What does that sound like? You make all your affirmations about them. Maybe if I say the right affirmation, then they'll love me and come back. You're making them God, right? You're giving them affirmations like they're your God. Maybe if I visualize like this, then they'll show up. Maybe if I listen to this sleep tape, they'll be pleased and show up. Do you hear how ridiculous that shit sounds? But when you make it about you, knowing that you are the source, boom, now everything can be added to you. Because how could it be added to you if you're not the center of reality? It can't be added to you if you're not making yourself the center, if you're making it about them. Even scripture tell you, right? To he who has more will be given, but to he who has not, even what they have will be taken away. So if I'm waiting for this person to respond to my new affirmation, I wrote this, I cooked up a good affirmation for them. Hopefully they'll be pleased and show up. Is that making it about you? Can anything be added onto you if you are coming from that place of lack? No. It's a rhetorical question. No, it can't. All right. So here we go. So practical sovereignty. Let's get back into it. Practical sovereignty. So 3 daily disciplines. 3 daily disciplines. Number 1 is witness and do not worship. Witness and do not worship. What does that mean? When an appearance strikes, okay, whatever the case may be out there, when an appearance strikes, say, this is just an appearance. Separate the phenomenon. Separate what you see from your identity. Separate what you see from your identity. Witnessing, all right? Witnessing without judgment, whether it's your emotions, whether it's a circumstance out there, it neutralizes the drama and clears the throne from judgment or of judgment from the I am. Put it like that. All right, so situation comes in. It doesn't look right, right? You lost your wallet. Your SP blocks you. Okay? Separate that from your identity. It's just a moment in time. It's just one of infinite possible outcomes of reality. It does not define your identity. You define your identity. Matter of fact, it doesn't define anything. You get to give it meaning. So what do you want it to mean? That's up to you. That is up to you, right? It makes no sense to be like, well, what about this? What should this mean? It's up to you. It means whatever you say it means. It means whatever you want it to mean. You are God. You're the only one walking around in your mind 24/7. And so the moment that you raise your consciousness, when I say consciousness, I'm not talking about intelligence. I'm talking about just your ability to be in the moment, to be present, to walk around and confront your own stories. To catch yourself and be like, oh, this is a story that I was going to tell. That's not who I want to be. Let me change it. Oh, I look at this situation. Let me just observe it. Yeah, okay, I don't like it, but it has nothing to do with me. It's just a situation. It's just a circumstance. I can name it whatever. And my identity is still solid because I've already chosen who I am. All right, so that's number one. Number two, reframe the evidence. Reframe the evidence, all right? Everything that appears is raw material. It's raw material, okay? Read it as progress or training. Never as final proof of lack, all right? So ask, whatever the situation, whatever the emotion, how could this be working for me? We're so programmed as a people, as humanity, that the moment that we feel something or see something that does not, make us feel nice and pretty, we immediately think of, oh, this must be bad. This must mean something bad. Think about it, bro. Even when we walk around life and you start telling somebody your hopes and dreams, they might say, whoa, slow down, buddy. Be a little bit more realistic. What does be realistic mean? It means be more negative. This is what it means. We are a people that likes to throw our consciousness down the hallway of negativity. We just start sprinting after negativity. Oh, let me think more as negative as I can and call it realistic. It's ridiculous. All right. So reframe the evidence. Ask yourself, how could this be working for me? The same way that you sit and you look at a situation, you're like, damn, how could this not be working for me? And your mind just starts racing and creating a bunch of scenarios. And all of a sudden you got a whole fucking notebook of bad shit that could happen. Do it the opposite way. How could this be working for me? And then let your mind produce the evidence it needs to move forward. Because the truth is that the situation means whatever you say it means. Guys, you are the narrator. It's your perspective that is reality. Reality is just you. It's just you walking. Really, okay. Reality, all reality is just you walking around talking to yourself in your head all day. This is all life is. It's you walking around, seeing things, and telling long stories about it in your mind. That's all it is. Why would you tell those stories against you? Okay, beautiful. And number three, proclaim before proof. Speak what is true inwardly before it is visible outwardly. All right, tell yourself, say it. I am the source that shapes appearances. Say it right now, right? I am the source that shapes appearances. I am the source that shapes appearances. That is what you are. You are the source that shapes appearances. You are the storyteller in reality. You are walking through the greatest story, the greatest, most beautiful story. You are walking through a love letter to yourself. Life is just a love letter to yourself. You can fill it up with beauty to reflect the beauty that you are. You can fill it up with bitterness. You have the choice to do whatever. You could create a reality where, everybody just chases you down. Money chases you down. The people that you love chase you down. Or you can make the reality where they all run away from your ass. When they see you walk in, they fucking turn and sprint the other way. You can do whatever you want. This is your story. Nobody, when you sit here and you look at a situation and you say, oh, it's just not working. Nobody told you to say that shit. Nobody has ever told you to say that. Matter of fact, this is how somebody could tell you, it's okay, it'll all work out. Even if they tell you that, you still have final say so. Or whether you say, whatever, get out of my face. It's fucked up, it's not gonna work out. It's you. It's you. You're the only one breathing life into everything. We are a people of amnesia. We have forgotten that we are source. We have fallen into duality, which is just a natural process of becoming, of waking up in a human body. Well, not in a human body, but waking up, perceiving life through a human body. One of the side effects of this is amnesia. But when you're walking through life, you always have these two divine choices. You have reality, or you have the circumstances that are whispering in your ear, saying, hey, look at me. This is who you are. And then you have the voice of God saying, no. No. What you see right there is just giving you more clarity on what you want. This is who you really are. And you get to constantly make choices. How often do you choose the path of beauty over the path of bullshit? B over B, right? Beauty over bullshit. How often do you pick that beautiful path? Or how often do you pick that booty path? Which one do you choose? The path of beauty or the path of straight booty cheeks? All right? You get to make the choice. It's always up to you. All right? So idolatry is seductive. Why is idolatry seductive? From the perspective that we've been talking about it, idolatry is seductive because it offers a scapegoat. Blame the economy. Blame the other person. Blame your past. This is cowardice disguised as practicality. I should have told y'all to sit down and hold hands before I said that. Blaming anything outside of you. The economy, the circumstance, the other person, the past. It's idolatry. You're making these things outside of you a false idol, right? It is cowardice disguised as practicality. There is nobody to blame for your shitty stories except for you. There is nobody to blame for your shitty stories except for you. The only person that's walking around and just cannot stop telling the story that shit just doesn't work out for me is you. The only difference between the person who continues to have a life of a time loop where shit just falls apart and the one whose life just continues to elevate and expand is their stories. One chooses a beautiful story. One chooses a shitty story. It's the only difference. You have full authority over every story that you tell. Okay? That truth, right? This truth is terrifying, but it's also liberating. If you are the author, you are also the editor. If you are the author, you are also the editor. Cut the lie, rewrite the paragraph, and publish the new scene. This is authorship as empowerment, all right? You do not become harsh, you become honest with yourself. Honesty purifies power. Tell yourself the truth. What stories have you been telling about everything? Tell yourself the truth. Have you finally accepted that you are already perfect in everything that you desire to be? Or are you still sitting around saying, I'm saying it, but I don't feel like it? Well, who cares what you feel like? What is the story that you're telling about you? Right? Are you still telling that story? Right? Does he still post photos with her on social media? You get to determine why. Why do you think? Everything is meaningless. You are the one who is walking through life, and you get to see something happen out there, and you can make the choice on what it means. All of y'all, you can look at that person you want. You can say every fucking moment that they spend with somebody else makes them fiend for me. You can say that. Or you could say every single moment that I'm without them makes me fiend for them and makes them move further and further away. You can say that. It's all your story. The external world is meaningless. It is us that make false idols out of it. You make yourself the center of reality. Accept that you are God and allow everything to be added to you. All right. So a couple reflection questions. Number one, where in my life have I given authority to appearances that are not authoritative? Where in your life have you given authority to appearances? Where have you made false gods out of appearances? Because I see this, this is what it means. You no longer need to go into comment sections and ask other people what was the affirmation that you used to get that person. It doesn't matter. They simply know that they are a source. They put themselves at the center of the reality. It wouldn't matter what you say if you don't assume the knowing that you're already that person. If you can't stand, right? If you can't stand in that fire, if you can't stand in that lion's den and look out at external reality and say, I don't give a damn what I see, I am that person. If you cannot do that, it don't matter what the hell you say. It doesn't matter what the hell you affirm. If every time you see an external circumstance, it becomes your God, it slaps the shit out of you. It does not matter what you say. We cannot make the external world our gods, right? And the question was, where in my life have I given authority to appearances that are not authoritative? All right, number two, what stories am I rehearsing now that would collapse if I stopped nourishing them? What stories have you been telling about anything that you could literally just stop telling? Something shows up in your reality and you judge it as against you. You judge it as against you, and then you get more shit that's against you because you continuously base your identity on the external circumstances. And as long as you're doing that, the external circumstances can't change, because reality is just waiting for you to decide who you're going to be so it can give you more of that. Who are you, right? And number three. If I truly accepted that I am the author, what is the first sentence I would write for today? I'll give y'all a second for that one. All right, if I truly accepted that I am the author, not just the author, the editor. If I truly accepted that I am the author, what is the first sentence I would write for today? If I truly accepted that I am the author. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. All right. So here we go. Beautiful. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. All right, so here we go, y'all. All right, I got a love letter for y'all. You know I love writing y'all love letters. I just can't get enough of it. So I got a love letter to discuss this entire journey that we went through on this discussion, and then we have affirmations, okay? Then we can do Q&A. All right, here we go. All right. Beloved. Read this or hear this as a letter from you to you, a letter from yourself to yourself, a letter calling you into divine remembrance, all right? Beloved, no one else lives in this chamber with me. No one else carries the weight of my sentences, the tone of my thoughts, the stories that frame my world. Okay, others may speak, the world may shout, but the final editor is me. I am not a passenger in my mind. I am the sovereign, the king of this temple. How easily I have bowed to shadows. How often I have let numbers on a screen, the silence of a phone, or the posture of another decide my worth. That was idolatry. Maybe not of golden statues, but it was giving my authority away to clay. I crowned circumstances God and forgot the I am seated in my own chest. Today I end that worship. I will not call appearances eternal law. I will not let echoes masquerade as the voice. The 3D world is nothing more than yesterday's assumptions crystallized. To treat it as the source is to kneel to my own forgetfulness. From this moment forward, I reclaim the crown. I am the voice that gives meaning. I am the one who defines reality. Eckhart reminds me, the eye with which I see God is the same eye with which God sees me. There is no distance, no separation, no exile. When I perceive, it is God perceiving himself through me. When I proclaim, it is the word made flesh on my tongue. I am not seeking, I am remembering. So I will witness and not worship. I will reframe every piece of evidence as material being sculpted by my inner decree. I will proclaim before proof, because proof is only the world catching up to what I already know. This is my daily liturgy. I am the source. Appearances bow to me, and I choose meaning. No more scapegoats. No more cowardice. If the story is broken, I am the one who rewrites it. If the paragraph lies, I am the one who edits it. If the scene feels small, I am the one who expands it. My life will no longer obey shadows. My world will bend to the throne within. I sign this letter as my truest self, not the beggar of appearances, but the author of reality, right? I am that I am, no matter what. All right? So here we got some affirmations for you. Remember, these affirmations are not you trying to be anything. They're a divine remembrance of who you have always been. You've always been all of these, okay? So here we go. I am the throne of authority. Appearances are only artifacts bowing to my decree. I am the throne of authority. Appearances are only artifacts bowing to my decree. Yeah, I know you like that one. I know you like that one. All right? I know you like that one. Next, the eye with which I see God is the same eye with which God sees me. There is no distance, no separation, no exile. Beautiful. Right. Next, I no longer worship shadows. I stand as the light that defines them. I say that in a different way. I no longer worship circumstances. I stand as the God, the source that defines them. Beautiful, beautiful. Next up. Circumstances do not crown me. I am the source that names reality and gives it law. That was a banger. That was a banger right there. All right. Circumstances do not crown me. How could they? When they come from me, okay? I am the source that names reality and gives it law. I give it law. I give it law. All right, next. Every story I tell is creation itself. I write boldly, and the world conforms to my authorship. Every story I tell is creation itself. I write boldly, and the world conforms to my authorship. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, next. I am not a beggar of appearances. I'm not a beggar of appearances. I am the author who frames them into alignment. Do you hear that? Let me say that one more time. This has got to be one of my top ones, all right? I am not a beggar of appearances. I am not a beggar of appearances. I am the author who frames them into alignment. Whatever I see, I get to frame it into alignment by using everything as proof that I am already everything that I desire to be right now, no matter what. I am everything I desire to be right now, no matter what. I don't care if it looks bad. It's proving me that everything is perfect. I don't care if it looks good. I'm going to enjoy it. And it's proven to me that everything is working out perfect. I don't care if I don't see shit. That means everything is happening behind my eyes. Ooh, it's a surprise. It's a divine surprise for your boy, right? It's all for me. How are you framing reality? How do you view reality? Oh, nothing's happening. It's all not. Oh, I can't see anything. That's your story. So that is reality. Reality will just mirror back your story. Oh, it's been this long and nothing's happened. It's been 6 months. Well, that is your reality. It hasn't been 6 months. It's only right now. There's only right now. It hasn't been 6 months at all. It is only right now. You're just decreeing that it's been that long. You could look out there and say, look, I'm glad every moment that you spend with somebody else brings you back to me. You can't think of nobody but me. You could tell that story. You can make yourself the center of reality. You can say every single bill that I receive is just proof of the expansion of my money. You can say that. You can say whatever story that you want. All reality is you walking around gaslighting yourself anyway. It's all the same. It's all imagination. Everything is imagination. Walking into a room and saying, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm nervous right now. What if nobody likes me? That's just your imagination. You walking in and saying, okay, everybody's going to gravitate to me. It's going to be a beautiful, beautiful day. That's imagination. It's all imagination. What is not imagination? Everything is just a blank slate until you walk in. It's all imagination. Okay, here we go. No circumstance defines me. I am the word breathing meaning into every scene. Beautiful. Beautiful. No circumstance defines me. I am the word breathing meaning into every scene. No circumstance defines me. Hell, no thought defines me. No emotion defines me. Shit, I am the word breathing meaning into everything. I am that I am no matter what. All right? Let me see how many more we got. I think 2. 3 more. Oh, a surprise. An extra one. Okay? An extra one. All right? I have dethroned the idol of outer evidence. My crown is the I am within. I have dethroned the idol of outer evidence. My crown is the I am within. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, next. My inner decree is eternal law. The outer is only its delayed reflection. Right? I'm entertaining y'all with that word delayed. But we know it's no delay. All manifestation is instant because my changing my perspective is instant. It's instant, and I am reality. But sometimes we have to speak things in a way that makes sense when we're communicating it. Do y'all ever think about that? Even when we read scripture, right? There are certain things that even Jesus, representing your I am awareness, says that implies there are multiple powers when there's only one. But it's just this kind of concession. It's this way of speaking that allows things to be understood better, right? Whatsoever you ask the Father within my name or in my name will be given to you, right? And so as humans, we think of this as multiple powers. But there's not. There's only one. There's only I am. There's only source. There's only all that there is, right? But us understanding, okay, within my name, the name I am, right? Nobody can come to the Father except through me. Through who? Through me, all right? Jesus representing your I am awareness. Your awareness, which is God, which is source, which is all that there is. All right? So come to the Father except through me means through your state of being, who you declare yourself to be. Because who you declare yourself to be changes reality because that is God. That is simply you exercising your power as source. So these things are said in a way that implies there's multiple things out there, but there's really only one. It's just said in a way for us to be able to consume it from a human perspective, which is always very, very interesting to me. All right. Delayed what? Delayed what? My inner decree is eternal law. The outer is only its delayed reflection. Reflection. Okay? And last but certainly not least, right? I walk as the light itself. I walk as the light itself, never kneeling to shadows again. For sure. Thank you. I walk as the light itself, never kneeling to shadows again. All right, the external reality is just a bunch of shadows, man. You don't have to kneel to them. You are source. You are the source of them. Okay? You are the source of them. I am that I am, no matter what. No matter what. I am that I am, no matter what. Okay? Cool. I appreciate y'all for coming on this journey with me. I think this was a good discussion. Kind of had to, pivot off the SP. I know I've been beating y'all ass about the SP for a couple of days now. So getting into more general things. Okay. But let's do questions. If I have questions, drop them in. If y'all want to join up, join in. All right, let's get going. I don't know how long I'll be on, but I'll be on. All right. Do I believe you can manifest an X-Bag? Sure can. You can manifest whoever you want. Whoever you want, you can manifest. All right. So why isn't he showing up if he's already mine? Well, okay, a moment ago you just said he was with somebody else and what should you do? And now all of a sudden you're confused and saying, why isn't he showing up? Well, you've been telling two different stories. Is he yours or is he somebody else's? You have to make up your mind. All right? You can't ask me for that validation. All right? Who are you in the middle of whatever you're doing? Who are you in the middle of whatever you see outside of you? Who are you? How do you define yourself? It doesn't matter what the situation looks like. But how do you define yourself? See, manifestation is instant because you instantly become the person who has what you want. But what we tend to do is we tend to say, no, I don't, because the external reality, the 3D. Hear this, all right? Let's go into this a little bit. Hear this. The more that you perceive separation between the third dimension, which really doesn't even matter, right? I don't care what D you're talking about, the big D, the little d, the 3D, the 4D, the 5, it doesn't matter, okay? The more that you see separation between who you are right now, between yourself and reality, the more you think you have to walk through reality and just survive it. Like it's this big monstrous thing. Oh, the 3D is just showing me this and that. Well, you're perceiving that it's not you. You're perceiving that it's just something that you have to survive until you finally get what you want out there, and then it will be happy. Well, the truth is that it instantly reflects you. The less that you see this separation, the more that you perceive the separation between yourself and the external reality, guess what? It's mirrored back to you, right? Because reality is just you. So if I perceive separation from it, guess what? It's just going to mirror that vantage point or that viewpoint back to me. The less you see separation, like I always say, as within, so without, is not profound enough. It's not meaningful enough for what it is. You just are reality. Reality is all looking at you saying, hey, who should we be? Who do you say you are? So it makes no sense for you to judge who you are based on the circumstances, because that's just continuously putting this separation between who you are and what you think reality is. We just see it like this big scary monster. We think that there's intermediaries between us and God. There's just you. There's just source. This is just everything, right? The 3D shows you that the 3D is not a separate thing that's showing you anything. Stop looking. And so here's another thing, y'all. Where is your focus on? Are you saying, oh, I am this, unless reality shows me? Okay, I got to slow down for this one, because this is a very important point. Because remember, the answers that you seek are always within the questions. If you read your questions truly, you would understand why you don't have what you want. Your questions tell everything. Okay? It tells everything. The 3D is showing you this. Okay? How can you say you have it, but then say that you don't have it at the same time? You're double-minded. Okay? A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. This is what manifestation is. Okay? This is what manifestation is. Manifestation has to go beyond your logic. Reality creation has to go beyond your logic. You just are reality. Let's say that I want a specific person. All right? In some fantasy world, I want a specific person. Okay? And they're with somebody else. They're wandering around the 3D. They're not even real persons, right? They're just fragments of me running around in the 3D with another fragment of me that I've created. Okay. Now, the moment I decide that I have it, what has to happen within my consciousness is I have to go beyond my logic. Okay. I can't say, oh, I only have them if it looks like this. Because now I'm being conditional. When the nature of source, the nature of who you are, the nature of the God within you is unconditional. Right? I have to be unconditionally with that person, meaning even if my mind goes to them with somebody else's, I don't care. Even if they are with somebody else, they're with me because God makes a way out of no way. But when we start looking at it and we say, okay, let me split things up into categories. I'm saying that I am this person, but I can only be this person if reality shows me this. And if reality shows me this, then I'm not this person. Well, I'm making it conditional. So if I make anything conditional, I'm really saying I am not. Because if I really was it and I had it, it wouldn't be conditional. I would just have it. So me saying I am not, me making it conditional, guess what has to show up in my reality? The very thing that proves to me I am not. So you're going to continue to get it. This is why people say, oh, you attract what you fear. It's because you're not willing to confront it. You're not willing to make the choice that says, no matter what I see, I am it. Doesn't matter if the eviction notice is here. It's paid. It's already paid. Doesn't matter what I see. It's already done. They're already mine. Exactly. The if statement is what fucks us up. You are it. And you are it not depending on what it looks like. You are it because you say so. Because you are reality. You are reality. I don't need to see that you've changed to know that you've changed because I've already decided who I am. So it has to go beyond your logic. We start trying to put ourselves in this box. We're doing the exact same thing that we did before. You were praying to some God in the sky, hoping that they would conditionally hear you if you act nicely, and then you were peeking around hoping to see something different. And now what are you doing? You're putting all of that same energy into your affirmations and visualizations and things. You're doing the same shit. You just have more information, but you're doing the same thing. You're waiting for the external world to determine who you are. When even scriptures say, blessed is he who believes before he sees. I make a way out of no way. Even when it says the Father and I are one, but the Father is greater than I. What does that greater mean? It means it doesn't matter what you perceive. The perspective of source, the perspective of I am is way above you. It already sees the end. It's like we are looking at reality through a very limited lens. If you right now took a picture, right, if you had a picture, there's a picture right behind me, all right? Let's say you look at this picture right there, okay? And on that picture, you continue to zoom in. Let's say that source has a view of the whole picture, but you continue to zoom in and in and in and in and in until you can only see one little pixel, one little moment. You might think it's not perfect. You might be like, you know what I'm saying? It's not really perfect. I don't really know, you know what I'm saying? I don't really know how things are going to work out. Well, it's because you don't have the perspective. You don't know how it's going to work out. You just have to, that's not your job. You just have to know it will work out. This is why even scripture tell you, judge not by appearance, but judge by righteous judgment. You have to see the end when there's no end. You have to know there's a way, even when you don't see a way. It's all you. Right? So trying to create reality just purely via logic, it doesn't work. You have to go beyond logic. A quick micromanager for sure. What's up? Oh, I always do this, y'all. My bad. The volume's down. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm always blessed. Thank you.
Good. I just want to thank you so much for always sharing this. I hadn't listened to you for like a week, and I felt it in my reality because I was not being reminded to tell myself I am source thing.
Well,
Because like I'll listen to you talk to other people, and I'm like, oh, well, where you're struggling is that you're not source, but I think I let the narrative of, oh, there's this lunar eclipse and it's about purging like past cycles and releasing this past pain, and I found myself experiencing that, and I just had that breakthrough today, like, oh my god, it's because allowed that narrative to come into my reality. And when I started to feel something off, I kind of like delved into that depth of the reality that I was purging these toxic cycles rather than just declaring, nope, they're over. I am source. I'm stepping into my new life now. It doesn't matter what the last astrological climate is.
beautiful.
What matters is what I say matters. And it's like I'm like, okay, I need to listen to him every day just to make sure I'm keeping my mind in check.
I might not be here every day, man, but all the information I'm giving you, you already know it. You already know it. Like that's why you were able to catch yourself even in that process. And even your ability to catch it is just the proof of where you are, right? It's the proof of your consciousness, the proof of your ability to create.
Yeah, because when I've heard people talk, I've heard people even get like teary, and I've kind of, like when they've come on and like asked you questions, and it's weird because it's like I can see it in somebody else when I'm looking at it from like as a third person point of view, just kind of looking on. But then like today, just like I'm taking notes. I'm like writing these suckers down, putting them on my fridge.
Yeah.
like, like I have the word breathing meaning into every saying. No emotion defines me. And I was like, well, that's why I'm stuck, and I felt trapped because by saying that I was closing out these 9-year karmic cycles, then it took me back to feeling what it felt like to be in those toxic situations with those abusive people that held me down for the past 9 years.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, okay, I'm not there anymore. It's already done. It's already closed. I closed that out already. I don't need some date. I don't need some lunar eclipse to tell me it's over. I
Yeah.
don't need some 9-9 portal to tell me it's over. It's already over if I declare it's over.
Yeah. That's so man, such a beautiful realization because we can get caught up in that in so many things, right? We can get caught up in that by what the doctor tells us when we go get a checkup, saying, "Hey, no, you're headed down this path." Or if we read a book about our astrological signs, right? We can get caught up in that. We can get caught up on it with the therapist or with what the teacher tells us. Hell, even what our parents tell us what is possible, what the economy says, right? So it's just a good reminder in all of these situations that the external world can't define me. I define it. No matter what those things are telling me, I can still have the final say so, right? If I want to enjoy this moment of, transcending this, I guess, this prison that was put on my mind, I can do that. But if there's other things that I want to enjoy in my life, I want to enjoy food this way because it makes me feel good, I can do that as well. We always have a choice whether I want to stay in the box of certain beliefs or if I want to transcend them.
Yeah, I wrote the one too because I was writing. I was trying to write as fast as I could everything you were saying, but so the eye with which I see God is the eye with which God sees me.
Yeah.
I no longer worship shadows. I stand as the God that defines them. And so I was like, oh my God, that's worshiping the shadows.
Yeah.
Because if I'm thinking, okay, this lunar cycle or this eclipse cycle or this 9-9, September 9th in the year of a 9 is the cycle in which I have to close everything out. Then that's worshiping the shadows.
Yeah.
Because if I declare it's done, then it's already done. It's like, well, because my ex was a big part of a shadowy period, but I haven't been with him since 2013, and even though he drug me back to court, blah blah, for years, making false accusations to the point that he got vexatious litigant charges, where the court acknowledges that he was using the system to abuse and harass me. But as soon as that was done, it's done. And I've been, I guess, allowed the PTSD, just the remembrance of what that felt like, to make myself fear that the cycle wasn't done.
Yeah.
When all I had to do was declare it. That
Yeah.
it's done. He can't touch me. It's over. that
Absolutely.
karmic cycles of.
Absolutely. And the interesting, the more that we dig into, first of all, I'm sorry that happened to you.
Oh, I've learned, I'm trying to, I'm like, okay, everything's an experience.
Mhm.
I needed to find my power earlier to stand up for myself and say no. No, I mean, like when I'm looking at it from what you say, I needed to realize, no, I am the God and the creator of my world. And I'm standing in my power, standing on my throne, saying, this is not how my world will be.
Yeah,
So this needs to stop. This does stop. This stops now.
exactly.
And and that's essentially what I did. And he threw like temper tantrums, but I kept standing my ground.
Hmm.
But like I'm just reading like the circumstances do not crown me. I'm the source that names reality and gives it every story I tell of creation itself.
Hmm.
Yeah, like I write boldly and the world conforms to my story. I love that. So like I was like, and I don't know if you saw it, but like you're like, what story would you tell yourself? Now what's the opening line? And I was like, well, I hold the pen.
Yeah,
I hold the pen. My hand wields the pen. My hand writes what will be my reality. So
yeah,
anyway, I just wanted to tell you thank you because like it kind of helped me. Like I don't need here to sit and cry because it's always going to go back to, well, do you know your source? Do you know that you are source? Do you know that? Like, what have you been given power to? And as I was like trying to write these down, I was like, oh my God, I've been giving power to all of that. Like, oh, the world isn't working out for me. It's like, it doesn't matter what the economy's like. It doesn't matter what's this or that. It's, just know that you are force and
exactly.
that you are the word breathing meaning into every saying. But no emotion defines you, no circumstance defines you. I am that I am no matter what.
Yeah,
I have
absolutely.
dethroned the idol of outer evidence. I love that one too.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, okay, point. I love the. Anyway, I just wanted to sing your praises. So
I appreciate you so much. I appreciate you for joining, and I'm grateful to be on this journey with you. Right, we're all in this together. So I really appreciate hearing your story. One thing I do want to ask you, right, is even what did you learn from? Well, I want to ask you something more pointed. So when we're going through things, let's say that someone else is going through a situation like you were going through, right? And they come into this realization that no, I am source, right? I am everything that I desire to be. But there's still another curveball that's thrown at them, right? So the situation doesn't just fade off instantly, right? You might get out of a situation, and then all of a sudden that situation comes back around just to test you a little bit, right? What would you tell somebody that's going through that, whether it's with, an ex, whether it's with a job, whether it's with whatever the case may be, when they're trying to escape something or transcend something, but it seems like the remnants or the shadow of that thing continues to confront them again.
well, it's just what I was picturing. Like when you were saying that, it's like, who, what what kingdom hasn't been challenged? Who hasn't tried to throw a king off their throne? Like in history, you can name it everywhere. Like it recurs today. It's always constantly recurring. And so if somebody knows that you realize your power and you realize your source, they're going to try to throw a shadow at it to make you doubt that you are source because they're trying to throw you off your throne because they fear you knowing that you are source and knowing that you have the power to create your own reality. And so, especially those people that live in misery because misery loves company. But if you remember, I am source. No matter what happens, I am still source, and I can only be dethroned if I allow myself to be dethroned.
Beautiful. Let's go a step further, right? Because even those people, when they throw things at you, right, those are just fragments of you, right? Those are still reflections of you. They might be reflections of an old identity still trying to fade away, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
never that anybody is against us. It's always that we have to stand our ground in the knowing of who we are because reality is just going to do what it does, right? It'll do what it does on the unfolding towards getting you what you want, right? So we're always going to have these confrontations that show up, but we just have to stand in that knowing, right? Like you said. I love that.
Well, yeah, like I've just thinking from my own personal experience, because like I was raised Mormon, taught to be subservient to the men, and that my intuition and inner knowing could be trumped by my husband, my father, my bishop because they had the priesthood and I didn't, and so they had more insight than I did. It
Right.
was, toxic, but anyway, like my ex, I was married for 17 years. He got really sick with, wielding his power of shadows and negativity at the end. And I was very emotionally raw. He could get me into tears, to cry and scream and react. And as I left, I worked with victims advocates, worked with counselors, and learned like he's basically the puppet master trying to pull my strings, get me to dance and react the way that he wanted me to, right? So he would say these horrible things, take these cheap shots, make these passive aggressive comments in public because he's trying to make me look like I'm crazy in public, right? So I had to learn what he was doing and not react.
All right.
I had to just observe it.
Okay.
And okay, like I'm not gonna let him throw me into that panic, throw me into this girl who cries, throw me into this girl who begs him to stop. I gotta just know like that's him and his insecurity trying to, make his reality look as if he's the victim and that I'm this crazy person and I can't give him any evidence to make that true because it's not true. Because I know that I was upset for valid reasons because it went on and on and on and it never stopped. But taking my power back and knowing that I am source was to not be his puppet, like to cut those puppet strings. And even if he shook even if he tried to pull on the strings, I wouldn't dance to the tune that he wanted me to dance.
I see. What part of you do you believe that was reflecting? Because we could say that, all right, it was that person. However, why do certain people end up in the same type of situations over and over and over again? Where it seems as if that person was the problem, they escaped it, they end up in another situation like that. What is it from your perspective, right? What do you believe that is typically mirrored back? Or what do you, actually, speaking personally about that situation, what do you think was actually being mirrored to you, if anything?
What was left to, well, I mean, because I guess the reality I told myself is it's unhealed trauma. Like I realized how much my ex-husband was like my mom. And it's like I was in that relationship because that's the kind of love that felt normal to me, right? And so it was reflecting that broken inner child, I think. But then when I took my power back, I'm like, well, I've recognized that this is toxic. I've recognized this is unhealthy.
Yeah.
And so you can try to test me to see if I've learned this lesson, and I'm going to prove to you that I have.
Beautiful.
Because I'm going to stand in my power.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So now you.
Like, I don't need to learn that lesson anymore.
Yeah.
I don't need to be taught. Like, okay, are you going to accept this lower vibrational type of love? Are you going to accept the love where you get manipulated and you get gaslighted and somebody blames you for everything and you're meant to feel like you're the piece of shit, you're the problem, you're the crazy one because you get upset by them cheating on you, by them, holding you captive literally and lecturing you for hours, sitting in front of the door so you can't leave, taking your keys so you can't leave? Are you going to continue to allow yourself to be victim of that and to accept that kind of love? Or are you going to say, I don't like this kind of love, it's destructive for my soul, it's making me depressed, like I know that the only way to happiness is to leave this environment because it's too difficult to pretend that I'm not affected by this toxic energy and this toxic approach where you blame me for everything wrong in your life and blame me for your mistakes and blame me for why you cheat and blame me for this or that. And that, like, my mom was like so similar too, so I had to, well, and then I also had to recognize that the reason why I stayed with my ex is because my dad stayed with my mom that long, saying that was the way you loved him, that you loved him through all this illness and stuff. But I'm like, nope, you matter, and I think it's unhealthy for the kids to see you do that because they either become like the abuser or like the victim.
Mm-hmm.
And I want healthier. I want love, like real love. I know that's not love, so you can't you can't tempt me with that kind of love. I'm going to block you right away. I'm not even going to say anything to you. I'm not even going to give you any explanation. I'm just going to leave.
Gotcha.
If you come at me with it.
Gotcha. Gotcha. I appreciate you, man.
But thank you so much. I just want to say thank you. I've been listening to you for a while, and
I appreciate
yeah, I was like, yeah, I could cry, but I'm going to do a release later anyway, just because it is the solar eclipse, and like tomorrow's it's just kind of the cycles kind of remind me, okay, release that. We are not accepting that reality anymore. We are releasing that. So I'm going to like release that. I'm going to release this uh, cycle, where I'm allowing external circumstances to define my reality. I'm going to release this cycle where the shadows come in trying to scare me, and I bend and cave to their will, and I forget to remind myself that I am source. I forget to believe that I am source, and that no matter what reality shows me, I am source, and what I say is law in my own reality.
Good. Beautiful, man. Beautiful. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Thank you, man. I appreciate you for sharing. I appreciate your story, and I appreciate being on this journey with you. True.
I appreciate you so much. Thank you. My son's name's Alexander, and I think I was on here where it wasn't your real name or whatever, but I was like, you know, it kind of fits because I liked the name Alexander because it means defender of man.
Yeah.
And so even if it's not your real name, like I think in this context where you're teaching these golden nuggets, you are defending man, because you're teaching people to defend their own
reality.
Ability, well, their own godliness, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Their own universe.
That you're defending man, because you're teaching them, reminding them that they're source.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you. I'm glad it's making you smile.
I appreciate you, man. And that's a beautiful name to name your son. So thank you.
Yeah, he's a sweetheart. He's struggling with, because my ex kept me in, because he kept taking me to court, kept trying to delay trial. I mean, he had no evidence, but it went on for years. So my oldest, he was just talking yesterday about how he's like really struggled with being in the middle of it, and it's like I don't know how to help him, but I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put in my reality, he's gonna see.
See what?
My son's gonna heal.
All right, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
And I realize he's got the world at his fingertips, and he can do whatever he wants to do.
Let's talk about that, okay? So right now, whose perspective do you believe it is that is causing your son to come forward and say, because of this, I have had whatever issue? Whose perspective is that?
Oh, it might have been mine. Seeing me say, like, I'm struggling because of this or that, or it could be his dad's too. It could be the combination of both.
It's
like
only
blaming the outside world.
It's only your reality. You're the only one with power in your reality, right? Everybody in your reality is a fragment of you, is a reflection of you. So you have ultimate power to now look out and say, no matter what, my son is going to have this beautiful experience. He will not be held back by anything. He will see clarity within everything. You have the power to say that, and you don't have to wait for an apology from your ex. You don't have to wait for anybody else. You don't even have, your son doesn't even have to know about reality creation. You can simply choose how you want to see him, what perspective to have in your reality, and allow that to step forward.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm going to work on that for sure. I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I just, he's such a sweet kid. He's such a talented kid. He's so smart. And I don't want him stuck in this cycle where he continues to tell himself that he's stuck.
Exactly. And he won't be, right? But he won't be as long as you don't say that he's stuck. See, because he is you, right? So you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying.
He's not stuck.
Absolutely.
He's elevating.
Absolutely.
He's had a breakthrough.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I also was really pushed to write my story, but so I've been working on it, and I got to the chapter where I'm talking about my mom, and I was like, I don't want to write
Uh-huh.
I'm like, is it helpful? I'm like, how about we just say we're source? I'm like, do I really have to go through all these nuggets, like these horrible shadowy periods to explain how I found my healing?
Of course
Or
not.
can I just say, doesn't matter what the fuck happened?
Yeah, of
I'm
course,
just your
you have the choice.
source.
You have the choice, but you can also talk about whatever without it impacting you. Right? They're
Yeah.
just old stories. It's an old version of you. You are new in every moment. Right? So I can speak the same way I can talk about a movie and not take on the identity of the main character that was getting his ass beat for half of the time. Is the same way that I can tell the story of whatever's happened to me and understand that I am not the identity of that. Like that's an old version of me. That story stays with that old version of me.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just, because like, it was just really, because my mom, like, she was 59 and started having an affair with her college boyfriend, and I think it was just holding on to the story that kept me stuck,
Yeah.
And, but I see how, like, even as you've been talking, I can see how my mom manifested that toxic life into her reality, because in order to justify her behavior for cheating on my dad, she started saying my dad was this abusive, this, that. And anyway, she broke up the marriage after like 6 years.
Yeah.
And what she manifested into her life is exactly what she was saying my dad was, because her new husband is exactly the monster and abuser that she was saying my dad was. So it's kind of, I'm like, well, yeah, that's evidence of it right there, that she created that reality for herself. And now she cries that we don't want to live in it with her,
Yeah. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna challenge you again. You can still choose to see her however you want.
Yeah, I guess
Do you
that's
want?
true. I mean, even like she's got dementia now, but I guess I could say that my mom doesn't have dementia. My mom has evolved. My mom has learned.
I mean,
My mom
it's not
learned
even
her lessons.
it's
My
not even
mom,
about it's not even about the perfection, right? Go to what you actually want from it, right? Because yeah, we can sit and we can tell all of the stories about what happened in the past, but what do you want from it? From my perspective, what it sounds like is you simply want a loving relationship with your mother.
yes,
That could be the story. You don't have to go through all the details and micromanage everything. You can simply decide right now and see your mother as perfect and say, I have a loving relationship with her. That can be your story. And you can allow that to unfold. It doesn't have to be you don't have to erase her past and all these things, right? You simply need to choose how you want to experience your mother. How do you want your relationship to be with her? And allow that to be enough.
yeah. I see somebody. It's interesting because there's somebody named Ronnie commenting about my mom, to love my mom, and I do love my mom. I've always loved my mom. I've never not loved my mom. What pushes me away is when she still tries to say bad things about my dad, and I try to tell her, like, Mom, like, you're hurting yourself every time you try to bring something that's like 50 years old up, and I've had enough trauma in my life that I don't want to sit there and rehash stuff, that I've moved past, and I'm just like, I want to love you both.
So the
I
problem.
still, like, when I do go down and visit, I will go and take her out to lunch. I'll go and take her. My dad has toys down there, and I'll take the side by sides and take my mom with me. And I just have to keep redirecting her mind, but I can have those moments that are loving memories with my mom.
But even that, right? It's not that you're trying to. You're doing this in terms of like trying to fix your mother, right? It's not even that what she says about your father you think is bothering her and creating something else like that. That's beyond it, right? It's how it impacts you. That's what you're really focused on, is how it impacts you. You can still have a loving relationship with your mother. You can still go to that place and then get to a point where, okay, I have a loving relationship with my mother and my father, whatever they say about each other, okay, that's cool, whatever. I can still have the perfect relationship with them. Her words about your father don't impact you. They don't. You're saying they are. You're claiming that story, but they don't have to. They don't have to impact, they have long not impacted your relationship with them. So what is truly the issue? Well, it sounds like you just want to have that good relationship with your mother, and then you don't want to be impacted by what she's saying about her father. That's fine. Or about your father, and that's fine. But you can also say, you don't have to fix her mindset on that. You can just choose the version of her that you want to step forward that is compatible with you. That's all. Because when we try to make it about like fixing her perception of other people and all that, that's a long drawn out process.
Well, it was interesting because like my little sister and I was down there for Labor Day, and I'm like, okay, let's go get mom, let's go take her to lunch. So we go and take her to lunch, and it was fine. She was like so happy to get out of the house, and then she starts like, because she gets competitive,
Yeah.
and so she's like asking about my stepmom, like, oh, I heard her dementia is so bad, like, how's her dementia? But I found that I just like, I'm like, oh, Jackie's doing great, like, no, she's such a sweetheart, and blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then my mom just shut up right there, and then she went back to like being, I guess, because it was just kind of like, I guess I'm like, no, we're talking positive, mom, but I didn't have to say we're talking positive. I just started talking positive.
Yeah.
She'll
just reflect who you're being
anyway.
anyway.
Shifted back into, I guess, enjoying the moment.
Yeah.
So
she'll just reflect who you're being. The more that you're reacting as if what she's talking about is bothering you, the more you're engaging with that conversation anyway. So reality just reflects it back to you, right? But you set the tone of reality.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point that she's reflecting me, because I was like, no, Jackie's so sweet, like, and I started talking about how she just like put her feet on my dad's lap, like, okay, here's the hints, time to massage my feet.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then my mom like shifted. It was interesting.
That's fine. Reality shifts instantly. As long as you liked it, that's perfect.
That's a good input. I'm gonna write that down to remind that, because I guess I'm like, no, we're being positive, but I don't actually have to say it. I just say it with my actions or the energy I'm putting out into the reality.
Exactly. You don't have to say anything, right? The source within you knows who you are. Right? Reality is just you. So even when we say that even when we believe that we have to speak things, right? Because the word really is taken a little bit literally. The word is I am. It is your state of being. It's who you say you are. It's who you declare yourself to be. But you can declare yourself to be something without words. You don't have to use words to declare who you are, right? Just me sitting in silence right now and breathing, right? And getting into this present moment is me declaring that I am perfect right now. Right? I don't need to use words to know that I am source. I think Lucas said that when he came up here, right? When you are present in this moment, you are breathing, you don't have to affirm for anything. You just know that you are perfect, which is the absolute truth. Right? So even when you are in these situations and you're just being present, knowing that you're perfect, your presence itself is speaking for it. It's speaking for you. And reality is just conforming to that.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you for the further insight. It's kind of funny because there's somebody named Ronnie commenting, and my brother's name's Ron, and we call him Ronnie. So okay.
I know Ronnie's
my brother in my reality all of a sudden.
Maybe. I know Ronnie's thumb's finna be sore in a second. Ronnie's spitting out them lines moment after moment. But yeah, perhaps.
Yeah, anyway, thank you. Go eat some. I love you too. Are you saying you're my brother? He's like, I'm here, I love you.
Might be. Go. Might be.
Yeah. My brother's deaf, so I doubt my brother would be on TikTok, but I mean, he could be.
Oh. Okay, well, that's a good point, I guess. That's a great point. No, but maybe it's just a sign.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you for coming on again. Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Have a wonderful day.
Thanks, you too. Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye. I don't know how to get off.
I got you.
Thank you.
I love going through the watchers list and just seeing who is on. Which one of y'all is just being quiet in the comments? I'm finna start inviting random people up. That's right. I said it. Don't get scared now. Don't get scared now. Matter of fact, we finna have a raffle. Any, mini, miny, mo. Who's the next? Any, mini, miny, mo. Who wants to come up? What up, what up?
Hello.
How you doing?
Hi. How are you?
I'm always blessed. How you doing today?
Good, good. I want to talk about states of being.
Beautiful.
Different from making a decision.
Okay.
So my state of being is depending on my mood, and let's say I'm having like a bad mood, and my decision is already that I'm going to get whatever I want from life. Then will my state of being affect that, or no? I can be angry all the time or mad all the time.
Well, state of being is not your emotion. Your emotion is who you declare yourself to be, right? Your emotion. Sorry. Whoa. Let me rephrase that. State of being is not your emotion. Your emotion is just what you feel. Your state of being is who you declare yourself to be. Okay. So the only reason that you are saying or that you're believing that your state of being is fluctuating with your emotions is because you're making that law. I want you to really think about this, okay? This is why we constantly say your emotions don't matter. Your emotions they don't matter. They fluctuate. When people think that their emotions create reality, it becomes very difficult to create reality because you constantly have to control your emotions. But your emotions can sway whatever. You can wake up today and just feel shitty. You're still source. You're still all that there is. You're still exactly who you desire to be right now. You just feel a certain type of way. So it's not impacting your state of being. That's just an emotion.
Okay,
Mhm.
and how do we do state of being all the time?
Well, it's like, okay, so your state of being right now is you are source, okay? You're God, right? You already have the things that you desire, they're already within you. Now, if you learn how to ride a bike, you don't have to constantly affirm to remember how to ride that bike. You learned. It's already within you. You can get on a bike right now and ride it. It could be 10 years later. So it's not that you have to constantly affirm that you are that person. You just are that person. Now, if something shows up that makes you think a certain way, okay, you can remind yourself of that. But your state of being as source, that's just you now. Now that you've remembered who you are, that is just who you are right now. So you can literally just go through life, do your best in every moment of life. This is not something that you have to constantly walk around affirming in your mind. But when a situation shows up that makes you feel a certain way, you can remind yourself, I am not my feelings. I am simply God having a human feeling right now. That is it. But I'm still everything I desire to be. And then you can move on and you can do whatever you feel is best with that emotion. If a situation pops up and it makes you think negatively, okay, I am not my thoughts. My thoughts were just headed down that direction. But I can remind myself, no, I'm still everything that I desire to be right now. And I can move in that knowing. So your state of being isn't something that you'll constantly just remind yourself. It's something you remind yourself as needed when those things show up. But even the reminder itself should be a reminder that no matter what I've done, I've always still been this person. No matter how I felt for the last day, no matter what I've thought for the last day, no matter what's going on in front of me, I'm still the absolute perfection of source. Makes sense, makes sense.
Yeah, how can I get more creative with what I want?
Sure, that's gonna be just part of going through life, right? So the beautiful thing about life is like a menu. Okay? When you're walking through life, you're gonna have things that show up. Some of the things that you like, ooh, I want more of that. That's an opportunity to choose. Some of the things you don't like, you know what I'm saying? I want something different. That's your ability to choose. So just by living life and going through different situations, you're gonna have different options and opportunities to choose what you want. The more that you read, you might be scrolling on TikTok or Instagram and you see something, you're like, oh shoot, that gives me more clarity on what I want. Just living life gives you more clarity on what you want. Now, the second part of this, we don't get into the trap of thinking that your clarity or your specificity, you being specific or you being vague, is going to keep you from anything. That is also another illusion. Some people are like, oh, you have to be specific. Well, the same source that grants you the desire is the same source that you are praying to, right? You don't have to be specific and clarified to God, because God is all things. That would make no sense. So just by living life, you're going to get more of an opportunity to choose more things because you're exposed to more things, right? It's just the natural process of living that gives you clarity on what you want. But the desire in itself is enough. Once you have a desire, doesn't matter if it's vague, doesn't matter if it's specific, that desire is enough. You being source and you being the manifestation of God, the fulfillment of God already walking, just your desire is enough to manifest whatever you want.
So I would say like top favorite thing in the world is money. And I love money so much that I want so much of it. And I'm just so materialistic and I just want that. So what can I do?
Know yourself as money, right? Know yourself as money. You already are money. You are prosperity. What is money? Money is prosperity. What is prosperity? Prosperity is God. What are you? You are God, right? So to get more money, it's not about doing anything more. Just the fact that you think you have to do more to get money is you making the declaration that you don't think that you are money. But you are money. If you love it, that's what you are. You are it. So decide right now that you are money. Now bless everything that you do. When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself everything that I do is leading to money. Now, when you make that declaration, it doesn't matter if the money is going to come today, tomorrow, next week, next year. Everything that you do is leading to it. Know yourself as money, right? Don't try to strive to get more. Striving to be more money is saying that you don't think you are more money, right? You are already source.
So if I say like money, do I have to say the amount? I don't want to be specific, but
You don't.
money from money is different. It's a number.
Yeah, for sure. You don't have to be. You don't have to be. You already, if you know it, then guess who else knows it? Source knows it, right? If you know it, then source knows it. You don't have to be specific. You can be vague with it. You can be specific if you want, but it doesn't matter. Either way, you simply are it, because source is the flowing of God. That's it. So no, you don't have to be specific or vague. You can be whatever you want. You make the rules. You make the rules.
You recommend movies based on your teachings.
Say what?
What type of movies do you recommend based on your teachings?
Oh, I'm gonna say The Matrix. I love The Matrix. So Matrix will always be number one. The Matrix is so metaphysical. All three volumes of them are extremely metaphysical, but especially the first one. The Truman Show. If you've ever seen The Truman Show with Jim Carrey, that's a great one, right? So basically, The Matrix it teaches you just the nature of reality. When Neo stops
Yeah,
and
I
runs.
didn't understand it.
You
The
didn't?
Matrix, it wasn't clear to me.
Okay, cool. Let's talk about The Matrix. All right, so The Matrix has different archetypes in them. Okay, you're gonna have several archetypes. Number one, the archetype, of course, is Neo. Neo is the one. Neo is us, all of us rising into consciousness, right? So Neo starts off working at a normal job, and then he receives the call from Morpheus. Morpheus represents the higher self. Morpheus, the higher self, who you are, I am, holds the vision of you unwaveringly, even when you don't hold the vision, right? Morpheus was telling Neo he was the one when nobody else believed he was the one, right? So that is that higher self. That represents in scripture John the Baptist. John the Baptist was the one who heralded Jesus, right? He didn't create Jesus. He can't create Jesus. He didn't create the one. Nobody can create you. You are source. You are the reality, right? But John the Baptist heralded him, right? I will baptize you with water, but one will come after me who will baptize you with the Holy Spirit, right? That is the representation of Morpheus. So Morpheus is the one, it might be a teacher, it might be somebody that just calls you into you are source, but you still have to open the door. Trinity represents the divine feminine, right? The divine feminine will call you into rising up, all right? Let's see, Cypher representing we could say Judah, all right? Cypher representing the desire to forget. Even though in the normal story of scripture is the story of Judas is different than if you actually read some of the Gnostic texts, which is very interesting. But basically what you'll see is that Neo is the oracle, right? The oracle also represents the internal wisdom, right? Pushing you to say, all right, it doesn't matter what things are telling me, what people outside are telling me, I still have the final decision on what everything means. She was the one who told Neo he wasn't the one, but he eventually determined that he was the one anyway, right? The same way that when he was sitting with the oracle and she told him, like, you might not be the one. You got all the gifts, just like we all do. You've got all the gifts, but it seems like you're waiting for something. The same way that we wait for a new YouTube video, we wait for a new book, we wait for some other piece of information before we decide that we are it. All right. So all of these characters represent different archetypes. So Neo goes through this journey where people tell him he's the one. It doesn't matter if they tell him he's the one, right? People tell him he's not the one. It doesn't matter if they tell him he's not the one, right? The agents, they represent the ego or the shadow self, right? They're constantly fighting him. They're constantly opposing Neo, all right? But Neo's fighting against them, and he gets stronger at fighting against them. But it wasn't until he stopped fighting that he conquered them. It wasn't until they're shooting at him when he says, when he just surrenders to knowing that he is source, boom, now all of a sudden he can overcome them. So it's a very metaphysical story of the overcoming of the physical reality, the overcoming of the external world, the ego, the shadow side, to recognize who you are. Even at the end, when Neo really finally woke up, what actually happened? He stopped seeing the matrix or the world as real. He just saw it as numbers, an illusion. He saw it for what it is. I can peer through it. Another part of the matrix, even when he woke up, he was still getting his ass beat. He was still fighting in the second or third movie. So you have different archetypes that are shown, but it also shows even though you wake up doesn't mean you're still not going to have things that show up against you or quote unquote against you or in opposition in the physical reality. So the more I watch The Matrix, the more I find new things. But if you really want to start off with it, look at the interaction between Morpheus and Neo. Neo being you and Morpheus being the higher self, somebody that's trying to tell you what to do. They're trying to pull you. It's trying to guide you towards the light. Because even Morpheus says, I can show you the door, Neo, but I can't walk through it for you. All right? I can show you. I can show you all of these things, but I can't walk through it for you. There's a beautiful scene. One of my favorite scenes is when they first go into the Matrix or to the simulator and they start fighting. Right? And Morpheus is telling him, don't try to hit me, hit me. Right? You're faster than this. Don't think you are. Know you are. Right? He's calling him into this. Stop trying. Stop striving. Stop trying to be money. Stop trying to be fast. Stop trying to be strong. And just know that you are all these things, which is the same way that we talk about things. It's the same thing that spiritual teachers are telling. So it's just calling into this greater version of yourself. So the Matrix.
I want to have an unshakable knowing.
Mm-hmm. Practice.
But I can't sometimes.
That's fine, right? It's a muscle. It's just like going to the gym. First time you go to the gym, it's going to be difficult. But the more that you go, it gets stronger and stronger and stronger. The more you see things bending to your will, it gets stronger and stronger and stronger. The other thing that you'll also realize is that the knowing that you are source right now, we tend to put a human judgment on it, right? Where, oh, it's not that strong now, and later on it'll be stronger. When the truth is that a knowing is a knowing. Knowing that you're source, oh shit. What just happened? My bad, y'all. I don't know what the hell just happened. My whole TikTok just shut out. I'm back in now. Here, let me put Sharon back up. Where'd she go? My bad, y'all. She still on? Let me see. There you go. My bad, Jordan. I apologize for that. I don't know what just happened. It's like my phone just cut off for a second.
Yeah, but even if you know, sometimes when you know, it's a indecisive no.
But it's still a knowing, right? So you'll get better at knowing that you know, I suppose, but knowing is just knowing. It's a paradox, right? This is a part that's beyond your logic. Your knowing is a knowing even when you doubt. It's still a knowing, right? You can still overcome the doubt. Now, will you get better at cutting through that doubt? Sure. But the knowing is still the same. There's only knowing and not knowing. There's not more knowing. So the longer you go, sure, I guess you'll lean into that knowing a little bit more, but it's not stronger than knowing right now. Knowing is just knowing. So give yourself grace on this journey. Remind yourself that even though I feel this way, I still know it's still me. I'm still everything I desire to be.
Okay, and what do you see as dreams? What are dreams?
Ooh, okay. So dreams are a bunch of different things, right? I think, all right. So, okay, what they really are is they're an outpicturing of your mind. Okay, your mind is very, very capable. It protects you. So you could have certain things that are going on within your awareness that when you go to sleep at night, they begin to play out. Right? You might have imagery of people. You might have imagery of animals or of entities or whatever. This is typically an outpicturing of your internal state of consciousness. Now, when we go further and we say, what do they mean? Okay, that's when we kind of get into a sticky situation, because if I have a dream that I win the lottery and I wake up and I say, oh, it's nothing, what does it mean? It means it was nothing. If I have a dream I will win the lottery and I wake up saying, oh boy, the money is on its way, I can't wait, what does it mean? It means the money is on its way, right? So it's all about how I interpret it. That's why it's very interesting when we allow other people to interpret our dreams and tell us about ourselves, because at the end of the day, we have final say so. It's me, it's my reality. I am God, right? There's nobody else here but me. So they mean whatever you desire them to mean, whatever you choose for them to mean, put it like that.
Yes, but if I'm God, I want to change the way my brain does this because it's unnecessary dreams. I can have good dreams if I decide to, right?
You can, but what makes you, well, okay, it's the same as reality. Whatever happens in reality is whatever happens. Let's play this game, okay? Right now in reality is a byproduct of your state of being, your beliefs, etc. You have 60,000 thoughts a day. How many beliefs do you have? Who knows? A large amount. So when you walk through reality, you're constantly getting hit with all these different beliefs, right? Some of the beliefs that you've forgotten about, some of them have been so far beneath your awareness. You've just been walking through life accepting certain things that it feels like law. It feels like this is how it has to go. But every moment is simply packed with your beliefs. You're always still going to have an opportunity to start changing your beliefs as you go. But you also have an opportunity to say what everything means. This is the same way that your dreams are. Can you micromanage every single moment of your day? Probably not. If you could, the illusion would break. There would be no more illusion. There would be no point in living this reality, because how would you be able to expand and grow and choose if you were micromanaging every single moment? So when you have these dreams and certain things are happening that you feel are right or wrong, you don't, okay, none of us will really have the opportunity to micromanage every single moment of our day. It's beyond our capacity, or else we wouldn't focus on anything. But we still have the opportunity to say what everything means. And that is what is more important. It doesn't matter what I'm seeing. I can always say what it means. So it's about, that's the mastery to get to, is you get to name everything. You get to decide what it means. And then you get to allow it all to unfold. We don't even get to choose how things unfold. Yeah, I can say it right now. You can make the decision that you are a bunch of money. You don't get to make the decision on how every single dollar flows into your life. You simply know that you're prosperity. You still there? You still there?
Yeah, I'm just thinking about what you said.
All right. No problem.
So we can't micromanage and we're gonna keep on desiring until we get to the ultimate state that we're not gonna desire as much.
The ultimate state of not desiring it. Okay. Are you looking at your desires as something that's keeping you away from something? Or are you looking at your desires as something to overcome? How are you viewing your desires right now?
I see my desires happening and then I'm in a better state.
Okay. That's perfect then. So it's not about will your desires go away or will you desire nothing. I guess that's an optimistic way to look at it. But why not just simply know that the desire is the fulfillment, the desire is the promise that you'll receive it, and then feel every single moment until that desire comes with love, with figuring out what other desires that you have, with enjoying the things that are already in your reality, with just loving the unfolding of life. Right? Because I hear you, but what it sounds like is that you are in this place right now. You're standing where you are right now. You're looking at the desire as positive and all these things, but in order to get there, because physical reality isn't showing you it, there's this tension against this physical reality, right? Are you enjoying life on the way there, or are you simply waiting for? Go ahead.
Exactly what you said. I'm not enjoying and I feel tension. So I don't want to enjoy. I want to get there and then I will think about enjoying. With enjoyment is not my priority. The outcome is.
But you can't get there without. But you can't get there without having it right now. You can't get to what you want without enjoying the process there. Like you.
I don't want to enjoy.
Because it's lack, right? You saying that, okay, I want this thing and I cannot do these things. I can't be happy. I can't be fulfilled. I can't have fun until I see that. That is lack. You can't get there from here. All right? You can only get what you already have. And if you already had it, then you wouldn't be worried like that. You wouldn't be acting like that.
But you said once I make the decision, it's fine no matter how I feel.
It is
Whether
final.
I'm enjoying or I'm not.
It's final. It is final. It is final in spirit. Now it's your decision to decide, do you have it or do you not have it? Because reality still mirrors you. What I'm saying is, as you're going through life, things are going to show up and they might knock you down and knock you around a little bit. You can still make the decision that, no, I have it. And I can walk as if I have it. I can enjoy life like I had it, like I have it. I can look at reality in a beautiful way like I have it. But lack just leads to more lack because reality is a mirror. So it's not that I'm saying it's irrevocable, meaning like I can sit here and lack and longing and just because I have a desire, I'll get it. No, that's not the law. The law is you have what you have, you will be given more of. What you do not have, even what you have will be taken away. So it's about walking through life and knowing that you'll have it, knowing that you already have it in spirit and you are just expecting it to show up. And if you're expecting it, you would be like a kid waiting for Christmas. You would be enjoying life. You would know that no matter what showed up around me, I could have fun knowing that it was going to show up. But when I'm just sitting and I'm like, I can't even do shit until it shows up. Well, that's me not having it. So that is the paradox. To have, you must have. Not having, lack just leads to more lack. If some, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm trying to enjoy.
Yeah, if somebody promised you right now $1 million, they promised you it. They were like, okay, as soon as I get it, they're not going to give you a date. They're just going to say, all right, the moment I have $1 million for you. I promise that I'm going to get it to you as soon as everything works out. I got you. And then they're like, oh shit, I got to go. But I'll let you know once I get the million.
Because I hear more than I see. I hear that from so many people. And I didn't see anything.
But you're not, but in this case, you're not waiting for it from people. You're waiting for it from yourself. It's already a promise from you to you. Now you simply need to know that it's here. You simply need to know that you have it, and now you can receive it. So the covenant or the promises that you make with people are promises with people. The promise you make with source, that's a covenant. That's beyond a promise. It's irrevocable. It's yours. Like, yeah, the waiting is the problem. Like, the waiting is the lack. If you have it, you're not waiting for it. How do you know that you have it? That's another follow-up question. How do you know you have, like, how do you get in the state of knowing? Well, the same way that you know your name. You wake up right now, and if somebody calls you the wrong name, you're not gonna be like, oh, is that my name? Right? Who can tell you how to know? Y'all all know how to know. You've been doing it your whole life. You know what your name is. You know when you wake up, the sun's gonna rise. You know when you hit start on the coffee machine, it's gonna turn on. You don't know what's going on underneath the hood of the car, but you know if you put your key in and you hit that start button, it's gonna start up. You just know. You know when you stand up out of bed, your legs aren't gonna give out. You know how to get to work. You just know. It's just a knowing. Who can tell you how to know?
Yeah, I know the practical things.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know the things that I want to know.
It's the same. It's all the same. I know that I am prosperity. I know that I am source because I say so. I know that the money is flowing to me, and I know I don't have to check my bank account today if I want to go somewhere because I just know. I just know it. It's not you're adding levels to it as if it's an emotion. Knowing your name is not an emotion. It's just a knowing. It's just a knowing. It's a declaration. It's a decree of who you are. It's a statement. It's a statement of ownership. It is an I am statement. I am this. That is what knowing is. It's not, I think, so where typically the issue comes with this is that we try to make it a formula, right? We are people so used to others telling us how to do something. We need a step-by-step A through Z plan that even when we get to this point, it's like, just know. We're like, oh, just know. What does that mean? You know what it means. To know is to know. How do I embody the knowing? What do you mean? When you see something that's against, you remind yourself that it's already mine. I already have it. So I can enjoy life right now like I have it. I don't have to sit around waiting for something because I know.
So there's times in my life where I depended on knowing versus depending on strategic planning. And I realized that whenever I strategically plan for something, the momentum flows. And when I don't, and I just believe that, okay, I know, then I don't see results. Even if I let go for 6 months or 1 month, I need to hold the goal in my hand.
So why not do both? If that is your block, then why not do both? Because that is a story that you're telling, right? that, okay, when I'm doing this, when I'm in control, when I'm trying to do this, then things flow. Well, if that's your story, then you can do that and know. If you don't want to do that, then you're going to have, if you don't want to go down that route, then you're going to have to know and sit back without going back to the past and telling the story of the past and dragging the past into the present. Because the past doesn't matter anymore. You're just telling the story right now of, oh, I can't do this because of the past. But the past are just your thoughts. That was a version of you that doesn't exist anymore. You're a new version right now. So you get to make the choice. Okay, do you want it to all work out? And do you want to sit back? Okay, well then know it. But if you're going to say, well, just because this happened before, well, that's the story that you're telling. So reality has to abide by you.
Okay, so truly, I just want to lay down on my bed and just expect that I'm going to get $1 billion deal just by me laying on the bed. This is my new wish.
Do you want to know that, or do you want to expect that, or do you actually know that?
I would love to know that.
What's stopping you from knowing that?
This past.
That's the problem. That's the issue right there, right? Is that the past is just a story that you're telling. And you're...
Then I'm just laying down in bed. And I know that just laying down in bed will bring me billions.
Well, okay. Hold on. It's not that the laying down in bed will bring you billions. It is that you already have billions. It's that if you need to move, it's not... All right, y'all hear me. All right, everybody listen to what I'm saying. Not doing shit, okay? Not doing anything is not a process to get something. Because we tend to listen to things, right? And we look at everything from the form of a process to get. So I would say stop striving and know that you are source. Stop striving doesn't mean sit down and not do shit. And that's the process to get anything, okay? Stop striving just means to know that you're the source. You don't have to work to be source, okay? You don't have to work to be worthy to get what you want. You just have to know that you are already everything that you desire. Now, from that knowing, that is the stopping of striving. Okay? Right there is the stopping of striving. Now, let's say that you have to do something. Somebody calls you, hey, I need you to do this. The point of this is not for you to say, no, I can't do shit. I have to stop striving so I can get money. I have to just sit down so I can get money. That's not it. All right? Y'all don't miss the mark. You are already everything that you desire to be right now, no matter what. If you need to move and do action, then you will be inclined to do so. Somebody will call you. Somebody will email you. Someone will do this. Somebody will do something. Reality will move around you to get you what you want. The realization is this. The moment that I go to the end and I sit my ass down there, I already have this money. I'm already this prosperity. When I sit my ass down in the end, that means the path shows up when I sit down in the end. So infinite paths show up to get me to where I need to be from me going to the end. What does that look like? What does infinite paths look like? It means I can start off by sitting down and just knowing and resting in that knowing. But if I need to work, guess what? The work will show up. Don't deny things just for the point of thinking that that is the process to get something. Because even that is striving. Do you hear what I'm saying? So even that is striving. Me saying I'm not going to do something just to get something is me what? Believing that I'm not it. And if I do this, then I'll get it. No, you already have it. You don't have to do anything to get it because you already have it. But if you should do something, it'll show up and you should do it. Hopefully that was clear enough for all of y'all.
Yeah, so I don't have to do anything. Like, I don't have to email anyone. I don't have to apply for anything. It's going to show up, and then my energy is going to move towards it, and I just take the aligned action for it. Exactly. And the aligned action is what? Anything that you do from the knowing that you already are it is the aligned action. Absolutely. But I don't get a lot of these actions coming. I need it to come immediately after this interaction.
You need it?
I want to see the contract.
Okay. Well, First of all, you don't need it. All right, you want it. You want it. And you already have it. Even you sitting here and still going back to that same story, I need to see something out there to show me that I am it. Do you see how that is the separation? You are it. No matter what you see, no matter if it shows up right now, no matter if it shows up tomorrow, no matter if it shows up next week, you are it right now. And the more that you rest in that conviction, the more that it'll show up quicker. It's all about you, right? Time flows through you. Time isn't something that, you know what I'm saying, we're slaves to and we have to go through it. Time is what's unfolding from us based on our awareness. Time is just an aspect of us. So the more that you rest in that knowing that you are already it, the more that you stop making it conditional based on what you see out there and you just know that you are that person, the more that those things can show up to you. Thank you. Love y'all. I don't know who's next. So it's a queue of y'all. I might just let y'all come up here and fight for a spot. Somebody say a number. Somebody say a number between 1 to 10. Oh, damn, y'all still off. But y'all so close that I can't blame or I can't guess somebody. No, everybody try again. So everybody say another number. There we go. It was, I don't know if you actually joined up. So you ain't even joined up, so it don't matter. What it do, love? How you doing?
Hi, it's so good to see you. I've been working a lot, and so I've been missing your late night calls.
I know. It's great to see you as well, man. I trust everything is going well.
It is because I say it is.
Absolutely.
Because I'm perfect.
Absolutely. What's going on in your life, though?
Well, this week has been, I think I was on live earlier this week, and I said, wow, this is not comfortable. But I remember saying it on live in the chat saying, oh, I love that, I'm going to use that. Do not confuse discomfort for defeat. And so I am in discomfort, and this week has been really interesting. And the old story, the gargoyles, they have come running out Usain Bolt style, and like you were saying earlier, right, it's like going to the gym. It's just practicing that muscle, and right now I'm getting more and more, I'm remembering more and more, and so yeah, they're coming out full speed. And so I'm remembering to just sit in the discomfort, be present, be with my discomfort, and acknowledge the pain that the 3D right now, that it hurts, and that's beautiful, and I'm gonna be here for myself. I got me.
Now let's go a step further. How do you use the pain as proof, right? Because on one hand, it is, yes, I'm going to sit with it, okay? Now, we also know that it's meaningless. Just the emotions that you're going through, the circumstance, right? These things are meaningless until you give it meaning. So have you been able to give whatever you're going through meaning in a positive direction?
Yes and no. Right, because I'm going to the gym, practicing, and remembering. And so I can draw up the instances. There hilarious. I think they're so funny. My work decided to resubmit their roads right when everybody clocked out. Hilarious. Like,
Resubmit the what?
people got into accidents because they were backing out, but the cars weren't moving. And so I used my free will. So I was like, well, I'm not getting out of this parking lot. So for a couple hours, I'm just gonna walk around. I'm gonna get my 10,000 steps in for today. This is great.
Yeah.
This is amazing. Everyone around me was so angry. You could hear everyone just honking and just like yelling at each other. And yeah, I used my free will. It was great. And so I was like, and so that day it ended up positive for me in that my rejection was redirection. Yeah, I wanted to go home. Yeah, I wanted to sleep. Yeah, I wanted to rest. But I also got some extra exercise. It was great. And so I want more whimsy in my life. Like, I'm here having a human experience to be whimsical, to have fun, to be creator.
All right.
But there are, I know you could call it musty SP, and I've been rewatching your lives on YouTube, and absolutely triggering. And right now, like, I'm in it, like, I'm in the pain, and I'm wondering, what is the purpose right now? Like, when I'm in a, and I know moods are temporary, so when I'm in a good mood, I can like change it, be like, when he comes back, he's gonna be begging. But when I'm not in a good mood, I can acknowledge, like, yeah, this really hurts, and I don't see the purpose right now.
Well, it's not about you seeing the purpose, right? It's about you creating it. Let's really get into this, okay? So, first part is beautiful, all right? I'm accepting what I'm going through. I'm not judging it. I'm not naming it anything. It just is what it is. Perfect. That simply gives you the tool to do what? To move to the next step, which is naming it exactly what you want it to be. You get to decide. You can decide if, dang, I'm about to say something. I know a couple of y'all are going to take this and run with it. You can decide that what you are feeling is just that person longing for you. You can decide whatever that you want, that situation, that feeling to be. It's all you, right? It doesn't, it's all a tool for you to use. When we start becoming the alchemist of everything that we feel, that is where the magic is. So the number one step is, okay, I observe whatever I'm going through. All right, I don't judge it as right or wrong. I give myself the space to feel these emotions, to feel this pain, to feel this anxiety or fear, whatever the case may be. The next step is everything now becomes a tool for me to point at whatever I want to point it to.
So in the car example or the parking lot example, by the way, that it's still, even now talking about it cracks me up that everyone was in the Matrix and they're like, well, I want to go home and like I'm gonna try backing out even though the cars aren't moving and I'm gonna cause this accident and blah blah blah. And I was like, yeah, like you're in the Matrix, I'm gonna break out of it. The Matrix wants me to be upset right now, right? I clocked out, I'm at work, I'm not getting paid to be at work, but I'm gonna break out of the Matrix and this is great. This is great. I wanted to walk more steps anyways. This is great. I wanted to play games on my phone anyways, but I don't have time to play games on my phone. So I'm going to play games on my phone now.
Mm-hmm.
Is that an example of what you're saying about like alchemizing? And then like, it's like, that's a small rep, right? That's like, I'm going to the gym, I'm doing a small rep. So now when it comes to the bigger things, like I can do the bigger reps.
What's a bigger thing?
Right, I come up with the meaning of those. I think right now it's the old story coming up over and over again. And
that's fine.
Like, to be extremely specific, my SP is traveling.
Okay.
I mentioned that in a live earlier.
Okay. Hold up, Glow. Hold up, Glow.
He's miserable.
Yes, you
right
can.
Now without me.
Glow, hold up. Yes, you can. You can absolutely do that. So getting to the next step is that everything becomes exactly what you say it is. Everything. Right? There's no more big and there's no more small. There's no more certain things that seem easy and other things that seem difficult, and you naming them or judging them as big or small. We're going to go to the same way that we look at our emotions. We say, okay, I'm not going to judge this. Right? I'm going to sit with it. I'm going to do whatever it needs. I'm going to do whatever to give myself the grace and the space to feel this. We're going to do the same thing with large and small. We're no longer going to look at things that we perceive as small and say, okay, this is an easy thing to alchemize. This is a baby step. We're no longer going to look at large things that we perceive as large and say, this is a bigger step. They're all the same. They're all big ass steps. They're all creation, because I am the only one that's large in creation. You are the only source. You are the only son. You are the only God. Everything else is small in comparison to you. So everything gets the meaning that you say it is. Everything. Right? And so now when you are starting to perceive things as, oh, this is a small step or a bigger step, this thing is bigger or smaller, you can drop that story. That's just a story. It's all the same. If I can do it in one thing, whether it's $1 million or whether it's going out and using this situation to get some steps in, it's the exact same thing. To what is big and small to the creator of the universe?
No such thing. Yeah, I really enjoy your lives, and I can't stress this enough. It's about remembering, because I know I am so smart and I'm so intelligent, and every therapist I've seen has always commented on, wow, you're so self-aware. And I've had multiple therapists say, wow, you should do my job. Like, you're better than me. You could do my job. When you say that you're helping me remember, that's so true. Like, when you look at scripture, like, God didn't affirm for light. He didn't do the 3-6-9 method. He didn't affirm 10,000 times. He didn't visualize light. No, he just said, let there be light, and there was light.
Yeah.
And then, like, another example of that is Neville, right? Neville Goddard and Abdullah. It's not, well, technically I think he did visualize a little bit of Barbados, but the point of Abdullah slamming the door in his face is like, you are in Barbados, like, you said so it's done. There's no, like, you don't have to pray for it, you don't have to script for it, you don't have to do anything for it, it just is. And even Neville thought Barbados was impossible. He was, like, I think he was unemployed at the time, and circumstances don't matter, but yeah, how easily we all forget that I assigned meaning to it.
Everything.
I would love for you to close up this thought, because I've had a burning question this entire week, but I've been working so much that I've just been listening to the lives, but I'm so curious about this one scenario that I'd love to poke your brain about.
Okay, cool. Was that it?
No, I was just saying if you had a final thought to what I just said, and then to move on to the next topic.
Oh, yeah. If I have okay, that didn't feel like a question. It felt like a statement that was spot on to me.
Got it.
But I'll try to.
Story, and I think the story comes up on social media, or I see it often on social media, and so I knew of someone where she was, and hopefully this resonates with chat and everyone that's watching, she was on a dating app, and she matched with a guy, and they hit it off, like, things were going really well, and he said, oh, I'm traveling, I'm in California, by the way, I'm traveling for work to New York, so just letting you know, I'm going to be really, really busy, so I won't be as responsive anymore, I don't think he even said that, he just said, I'm going to New York for work, just letting you know. And so she said, okay, so she reached out a couple times, just because up to that point, they were talking, like, every single day, at least, just very consistent. He got back from New York, and he reached out to her and said, hey, I'm back in town, I'm done with work, I'd love to see you. And she responded, no thank you, you showed me who you are. So I don't, like, I'm not, like, I'm not here to change you. I'm not gonna ask for you to talk to me every day. I'm not gonna beg.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm good. Like, if you're not someone that can provide consistent communication, then I'm passing.
Okay.
Like, I don't need your apology. I don't I don't need you to change. Like, this is who you are. So when you go somewhere, or like you're just someone that's not consistent, because it's New York. It's not like you left the country or anything. Yeah, you could have like given me a heads up. Like, I know you were in New York, but it takes 10 seconds to just say, hey, checking in, I'm thinking of you, or whatever. And so that literally ended that story. And when I hear that, like, as someone, as creator, I'm like, but you liked him. Like, I just have so many, like,
Okay.
and I'm labeling them negative. Because even as a bystander of the story, I can label it what I want to.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, wow, like, that story just raises so many questions for me, because I'm on a different side of that, where I am experiencing something similar, but I still want the person, and she was able to just let him go. Be like, no, I know who you are now. You showed me who you are. I'm out. I'm done.
Okay.
So that's why that story is triggering for me. I'd love to hear your thoughts.
Beautiful. All right. I have two main thoughts. Let me preface them both so I don't forget, and then we'll get into them. The first thought is, sure, you can have boundaries. You can do whatever you want, right? The second part is, what about the other side of the story? What about not accepting people showing up in a half-assed way and actually choosing the version of them that shows up the way that you want, right? If somebody tells me, hey, Alex, I'm just not a good texter, I can say, oh, okay, cool. And that can become law. Or I can say, well, congratulations. I'm glad you're with me now, because now you're magically healed, right? Now that's not going to be your story anymore. I don't choose that version of you, right? I can make that determination in that situation. So the circumstance can look like whatever, but I am the authority. I have the final say-so in this, all right? So that's where I would go. Sure, when we look at it from how y'all are looking at it, I still think that's a very 3D perspective way to look at it, okay? If they don't show up the way that I want them, I can let them go. Yes, you can. Because just because you have the ability to choose what you want and choose who you want, doesn't mean I'm going to do that with everybody. It doesn't mean I'm sitting here using all of my energy and just focused on everybody that comes into my life all the time. That would be insane to me. When would I have time to focus on myself, to focus on all these other things, right? But I can make the choice of how people that I actually like show up in my reality. And if I make that choice, then why would I ever settle when you tell me, oh, I'm just not a good texter, Alex? Well, that's fine, because I'm going to bless you and I'm going to heal you right now. All right, that spirit of not texting back, that's with everybody else. With me, you can't wait to pick up the phone and text me, because that is what I expect. That is what I choose. So I would go down those two specific paths.
And when you don't see so I've been talking to myself a lot this week, just because, right, I've been living in discomfort, and that's okay. Like, I love my discomfort, and I'm learning to give it the meaning that I want to give it. So when I don't see it, so even in that scenario, because again, I'm living it right now, I'm expecting you to be so excited, SP to be so excited to pick up his phone, and like, I just watched your YouTube live of a review of like, why would you ever, like, on your bingo card when you were a baby, did you really think that getting a text back or a call was that what you wanted? Like, that made me laugh. Is that the kind of relationship you visualize? So I am going like all the way to the end. Like, no, that's not like, but as of right now, like, it does. It makes me sad.
Okay.
That I'm not, so the story I'm telling myself, or I was telling myself, is I'm not being prioritized. Because even if you're traveling, like,
Right.
like, that's never stopped me. Like, I love my family. I reach out to them, maybe not every day, but like, Absolutely. Like when I'm traveling, I'm thinking of what souvenirs can I get them, and because I want to, because I'm love, because I love unconditionally.
Okay.
I also receive love unconditionally. But yeah, what to do when the 3D and like I am telling myself like in the interim, right? I'm in the middle, not the end.
Okay.
Just like, hey, I am love. Like he's addicted to me. He's just thinking of what to say. He's so excited to come home. He's having a terrible time traveling right now. And he really wants to see me on his birthday, and he really wants to celebrate our like anniversary. Yeah,
I have a
that's where like the uncomfort is coming from this week.
I have a better
Because
idea
those things
for you.
aren't in my visual. They're not in my 3D.
I have an idea for you. So right now you said a very interesting thing, things that stood out for me. Number one was you talked about how you are loved, and so you show up this way to certain people. And then you flipped it around and you talked about how this person, you're hoping that this person shows up in a certain way for you. Why not simply make the story of who you are the story of how reality treats you? Why not, instead of you just thinking of it as I show up for these people and I am love itself, why not also look at the other side of the story, which is because you are loved, this is how all these other people show up for you as well. Everybody shows up for you the same way that you are claiming to show up for other people. Right? Why not expand that story instead of it just being how you show up? So this is how reality treats me in turn, right? Because love is everything. It's all encompassing. It's not just a provide, it's a receiving energy as well. So when you start telling that story, now things can shift as well. And so now you're not being as focused as just telling the story of I am loved, so I treat everybody like this. I show up like this with everybody. And then allow that story of him to kind of to sizzle out. You don't need to sit around. What you want from them is already done. It's already done. You've already put it out there. Right? Now focus on how everybody shows up for you. Change your perspective on you, on how you receive from everybody. He's included in the everybody, right? So now that person has to show up as well. Because when you're putting it just about this person, especially kind of the way that it sounds from you, it's this clinging to him and trying to morph and change him. Looking at that situation, trying to change everything with that situation, trying to bend it into what you want instead of just making it about you. No. I am loved. Therefore, love treats me like this. Love shows up for me like this. This is how I show up in love, and allow every single person to show up that way.
Okay. Thank you. I felt it. Hopefully everyone else can see and feel it too here, or they do because I say so. But I felt the shift. I felt it. And you're absolutely right, because I screenshotted it recently too. That literally everywhere I go, all I see is love, all I receive is love, and everyone around me keeps saying to me that they love me, like those words, like I love you. I'm like, oh, like yeah, everybody does.
Absolutely.
And so why is this one person different?
Exactly.
But I have been telling myself, I'm going to take full accountability here. I have been telling myself that, man, it's so easy. Like, I've literally been angry with myself for the past probably like months. The past like 2 or 3 months, I've been walking around like that person loves me, that person loves me, that person loves me, but SP doesn't.
Yeah. The thing is though, it's that perception of separation still, right? Like everybody is you, including your SP. They're no different. They're all just fragments of you. The same way that everybody shows up is the same way that they will show up, because they are everybody and they are you, right? So even just focusing on them continues to push them out and create this separate godlike entity of them that stands above and holds the treasure to your heart, like holds your worthiness in the palm of their hand, and they're just keeping it away from you when they're just you. And so the more that we perceive this separation between us and them, the easier it becomes for them to walk into our life.
I'm excited to come back on live and share how I have been, and I will continue to be prosperity and love. Happy to let someone else on. I also love hanging out in the background and like chiming in if you're okay with that. But you were mentioning something with the previous person that was on the live, and I heard a really good analogy about. So I wanted to like add to it. You were talking about the Matrix, the movies, and a really good analogy that I enjoyed recently on a podcast was this learning, like this process, this remembering. It's kind of like grade levels in school, but also in life. And so, for example, if we take the subject material of math, like you already know math. If you know numbers, you know math. Like you said, like you're giving us the door, right? It's up to us to walk through it. Like we were all given doors, we were all given numbers, so you know math. Now you probably graduated kindergarten math, so that's really really easy for you. But as you go through life, like, and you graduated from kindergarten math, like that's fine. But then you get up to first grade math. It's like, oh, this is a new life experience, a new, like something new has popped up, and like awesome, like I already have the tools, I already know how to do math, like it's just going to take a little bit more remembering. Maybe I haven't touched math in a while, but it's always there. And then yeah, just like I just think that's so cool because like it never ends. Like to think that like, oh yeah, like now like I know everything and blah blah blah. Like no, like you said, like we're still experiencing life and creation, and it's whimsy, it's fun, like as you continue graduating all of these different grade levels.
Absolutely. We're infinitely expanding beings, so expansion is our nature. Right? We don't stop growing, right? Even the concept of you are worthy doesn't mean that you simply stop consuming knowledge, right? You still go out and that's your nature, except that knowledge doesn't have any kind of intrinsic worth to you. It's just you living in your divine nature. And I would also say even the expansion when it comes to different grades, it's not as if things are more difficult. We simply have to remember in a different way. That's all.
And I think also expanding on that analogy, just because it's taking you a little bit longer to do, I don't know, like let's say 11th grade math, like don't make the pain or the meaning of that like have to do with you're not unworthy.
Yeah.
No, like it understand like wow, like I'm learning something new. This is so cool. Yeah. But like I take accountability here. Like I look at that like of like, oh okay, I'm so bad at math. I've always been bad at math. Like I never could do math my whole life, and now I'm getting F's on my report card. Like okay, but no. Like you always had like you've graduated. You're going to graduate. Like yeah, like don't confuse discomfort for defeat.
Absolutely. Discomfort is never defeat. It's just discomfort. Absolutely. Love you, Glow. Thank you. Miss, is it Sanae? Am I saying that correctly?
Hi, I'm Shania.
Shania. Okay, cool.
I was last time in your life, and you helped me a lot. I was very, very into myself. Like decision, and that's it. Just a decision. No, nothing else. It was so strong, and I was listening to you every day. It makes me more stronger and hold me on the path. I mean, on the way, you know. And the thing is, to love yourself. If everything is me, then I have to love myself. Nothing else. I don't need to give love, and you give it anyway if you love yourself.
Yeah.
Just yourself. That's nothing else. Everything illusion. Nothing is real.
Yeah.
That's only you. What you feel, your heart. Open your heart, open your heart, open your heart. Nothing else. Open your heart. That's my journey, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful, right? You hit it right on, right? There's only you, and it's all love anyway. So what are you holding back love from? Even the external world is just you. So would God hold back love from itself? Of course not, right? So if you are source, why would you ever hold back love from yourself? You are the divinity. You are everything that you desire to be. You are the love that you seek. You are the love that you give. It's all love and it's all you.
Yes, and this is, I would love to work with you together. You're amazing. You're so amazing. You're such a
I appreciate
gift
you.
for me for this. I mean, this year.
Thank you so
I'm
much.
really, really happy to watch and listen. Just when I sleep, I'm in Germany, and I'm waking up of 3 o'clock, and I listen you and sleep, and then waking up and listen because I don't want to listen to anything else anymore.
Thank you so much.
This is the truth, nothing else. I mean, and this is what makes me most strong.
Yeah.
Usually, I was manifesting very easily when I was get angry. Like now, it has to change. You know what I mean. So very strong, and that's it.
Yeah.
Not like you say, you try. Don't speak. That's it. You don't go out. That's it.
Yeah.
No discussion. And I was that like that to myself, and then it's happened. But now I can't be angry anymore. So I say, I have to get it back. It's just a decision. And God is there when it is easy, not complicated. No, like the manifesting and this and that and seeing a picture and this is just having a good fun time. It's having you keeping you busy. That's it. Nothing else.
Yeah. Yeah.
And God is like close, like your nose. It's your nose. You hold your nose. That's it. But you have to remember who you are every day, every day, every day, every day.
Yeah. It's that divine
So
remembrance.
just want to say thank you to you.
Well, I appreciate you for being here. I'm grateful to be on this journey with you. I'm really grateful to be on this journey with all of y'all. Thank you.
When I come back to you and say, I want to get coaching from you.
I'll be right here. I'll be right here.
Yeah.
I'll be right
I
here.
hope so. And I hope we will manifest in peace in this world as well. It's still outside, and I have to have peace in myself.
Yeah, yeah.
Let go.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Have a nice evening or day, whatever.
Thank you. You as well. You as well, love. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, y'all. I'm about to end it on that beautiful note right there. I appreciate y'all. I know yesterday I said I was going to be back on, but I didn't. I disappeared. I was going to come back on. I was just like, I just don't feel like talking. So I just didn't. I will probably be back on this evening, all right? And we'll probably do a discussion plus the panel. I feel like y'all are more active in the evening anyway. But I appreciate y'all's time. I appreciate the discussion, the pushback, everything, right? We're all growing together, and I am grateful to be on this journey with all of y'all. All of y'all, all right? Y'all have a beautiful, beautiful day. She betting on the Cowboys. Don't lose too much money. All right, please don't. Be safe out there. The Cowboys they just do something to your emotions. I feel you. You feel me? But y'all have a beautiful, beautiful day. Talk to y'all soon. All right, peace.